And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another edition here of the Cranky Gather Season 2 Playoffs, day number 3. Hi, your quote-unquote daily dose of what's of a Team League Invitational action. Oh my god, I'm of course just VIP. With you, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all. This is a tournament that did take place last week, and we were of course on top of covering it on a daily basis, and then the weekend got intense. Of course, we did have the SE for All tournament, and I mean, there was just so much StarCraft going on, so we're here to catch up on those replays, on the finale and the rest of the Crank Gathers playoffs. Oh boy, for those that have not been around, for those that weren't here last week, this is a 6-team invitational. Team Falcons, Team Liquid, Shopify, Basilisk, Streamer Zone, and Team Vitality. 6 teams that were all invited for this tournament, and they've been duking it out in a group stage, into playoff bracket, and we are reaching the upper echelons of the tournament. Here we have the lower bracket finals. The winner of this series, the loser of this series gets knocked out of the tournament. The winner does advance on to face off against Basilisk in the grand finals. Oh boy. Here we go. And of course, here we only have one series. It's going to be Team Liquid versus Team Falcons, and we should be live with the winner of this against Basilisk later on during the week. Until then, we are jumping into our initial series, and oh boy, the format is crazy because, hey, if you see something on the screen here, your eyes do not deceive you. This is a best of 13. Let's go. Best of 13 Team League match. Vamos, papi. What does that mean? First to 7. First to 7 do claim that win. And also, when it comes to the format, this is old school Pro League format. What does that mean? Better to show you. Here we go. So we have a team versus team matchup, Team League match, if you will. Best of 13 Pro League format. What do we have here? We have this best of 13 constructed by a bunch of 1v1s. Lineups are revealed ahead of time. Players have time to prepare for their matches and also to prepare for their map as well. So bam, who do we have? We have Mana. We have Mana stepping in for Team Liquid up against Solar on the Old Republic. We have Clem versus Bunny on Ruby Rock. We have a 2v2 portion. That's one of the most exciting parts about this Team League match, is that there are 2v2s involved as well. Of course, they also provide only 1 point. With Clem and Mana joining forces, coming together, going up against Bunny and Rogue on Gem Garden. And we have Cure versus Rogue on Mothership. Now, the way this works, those are the first 4 games, and regardless of the scores, we're going to have more games because it's first to 7, of course, to claim the win. So we're going to have the initial 4 matches. Once they wrap up, the rosters get reset. If you noticed, the way that the Pro League format works is that you can only field 1 player once unless they get revived for the ace match. Of course, that's not applicable to the 2v2. For the 2v2, of course, you can re-field a player, but that's why you have, Solar, Bunny, and Rogue from Team Falcons. You have Clem, Mana, and Cure from Team Liquid. They all have their own respective matches. Now, after these 4 matches are done, we're going to be going, or I should say, the team captains, they had a break. They had some time to deliberate. The maps are already revealed ahead of time, and they can choose which players to field on which map. So they will construct, they'll decide their lineups, they'll send them to the admins. Admins will reveal the lineups at the same time, and then bam, we'll get another set of 4. Another set of 4, and that'll be for the next that'll be for 8 games in total. And then, if required, if the series continues, because again, it's a best of 13, 13 potential games, if the series does continue, then we reveal another 4 after that, which is up to 12, and then we have the final ace match if need be as well, if we are tied up 6-6. So it's a crazy format, a crazy long format here, with a best of 13. I don't think I've ever casted a best of 13 before, so it's first for everything. Fun fact, not all the maps are actually able to fit on the screen here. So I'll probably have to resize and then try to finicky the spreadsheet a little bit to show all the maps. Of course, the maps also get refreshed as well, but for now we are going to be getting into our first game. Likewise, hope you've all been enjoying yourselves in the chat. Again, it was a really intense broadcast this morning. We were casting the SE for All playoffs, and it did last the entire day. It was an 11-hour cast, and I do apologize, but I did tap out just before the finals. I finished up the Broodor finals and then passed out. That was like, what, 6 hours ago? That was So I got a little bit of sleep and I just didn't have the energy to keep going. Like, technically I could have casted the finals of the SC for all tournaments, but I was very low energy and I don't think it would have led, or I don't think it would have made for a good cast, unfortunately. So but it feels bad, man. But of course, it was the main casters, the main coverage, so we were able to give him a raid, give him some love, give him some support as we are jumping into our first game of the series, Mana versus Solar. Let's go. Let us go. As overall, I think I said this before, Team Falcons does have, I would say, the kind of heftier lineup here, but at the same time, Team Liquid, they've got their ace player. You know, they've got the best Terran in the world as well to kind of lead the charge. We'll see how this all comes together. This morning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the red Protoss player. We have the Polish Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is Mana. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg player himself. It is Solar for Team Falcons. Here we go. So we get into our best of 13. So far we do have the initial block here. Solar Force to take the unnatural natural. Nice little start here for Mana. And welcome to the Old Republic. The Old Republic is a very large map of the map pool. We've discussed this before, but the initial 3-base setup is very secure. The 4th base is so insanely difficult to defend. We have seen many a player attempt and fail to defend the 4th base, and I'm gonna say the same thing here for Mana as well. I will say that Solar is going to be at the advantage coming into the Old Republic, and we'll see if Mana can keep up, and we'll see how he does approach Solar in this game. Does he try to turtle up, does he try to be defensive, or is he going to try to go for a more aggressive build instead? Again, the pressure is on. Also, a big shout out to Holy Lime in the chat. Holy Lime 23. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 33 months of subscription. Thank you so much. It's been a long time supporting with Twitch Prime. Thank you. Thank you so much. We do appreciate the support as always. And again, we are just now starting our series. Buenos dias, Lojo. Step through the alarms. It's all good, back. It's all good. We only just now started. Getting into the first game. So now we are going to be moving out. Again, standard opener out of Solar. Likewise, Mana going for his pylon. Pylon was placed in the main base in such a way where we do expect it's going to be a Stargate. Just because it was going to be hidden tech, the pylon will be further down. Will be thrown down typically behind the mineral line to hide the Twilight Council, to hide the Robo, or even to hide the Stargate to go for a Void Ray. So we're expecting Oracle here, as there is that Stargate. Likewise, you can see Mana in position to expand, getting ready for his own 3rd once he gets his Oracle. And so far, so good. Calming down. I also don't really know how to portray a best of 13. I don't know if it's possible. Unfortunately. In the UI, I mean. So for now, just leave it as best of 1s. It's all good. Unless we had a custom overlay, of course. Which we might do in the future if this becomes a more regular occurrence. We'll fix that up. Until then, oh, I assumed it was going to be the Oracle, but no, Stargate into Void Ray. Okay, you have my attention. With a Void Ray opener, the goal here should be to hunt down Overlords and should be to deny vision, deny scouting, deny the scouting here of Solar. And with that, we can hide tech. You can opt to hide tech, or you can not. You can just go for a standard opener instead, and you can play some mind games. So Mana does have options. Void Ray is on the way. We have the attempted Link Scouts, but last doesn't quite make it through. Link Scout is denied, with more Links moving out across the map, looking to ideally deter, maybe even delay the 3rd, maybe catch a probe, get the Adept. Void Ray is revealed. And Solar, he will pull away those Overlords. Yeah, there we go. Does pull away. Overlords are being saved. There's one Overlord that's stuck out on the map that does try to hide as well, and the Void Ray is on the hunt. Ideally, if the Void Ray was hidden, then we could move forward, catch one of these Overlords first, and then come back and catch the 2nd, and get 2 Overlord kills, but as it stands, it should only be 1. Yeah, As Overlord is found, and behind this we do have a Forge, Twilight Council, standard follow-up here after the third base. Looks like +1 and Blink. Technically it can be a charge-based follow-up, but we're expecting Blink here from Mana. Despite going for the Void Ray, so far nothing too crazy. But as you mentioned, Solar doesn't know that. Solar's going to be zoned away. Oh. Yeah, Mana to slip in between the bases. Going for the stasis. Solar, no reaction. Yeah, no reaction. Ooh, he will lose almost every single worker here in the sense that he gets stasis. Almost all the workers get caught out. It's a very nice stasis trap here by Mana. Cheeky moves. Not bad. Yeah, it does pop off. Revelation into the main base. It is going to be Lair first here from Solar, or it's going to be Evo Chamber Roach Horn into Lair. We're not cutting corners. Looks like we're not going into +1 melee. We are building up into a more what looks to be +1 range and Roach heavy composition. As Mana's taking up, getting his upgrades, he's staying on a lower gateway counts, going into a Temple Archives into Storm. So more defensive start here by Mana. Yes, he is harassing, does have his steps across the map, but is not being as active with his Stalkers. Orc into the third, gets one drone, nothing major. Oh, doesn't get a second. And I was curious because there was no upgrade on the Evo Chamber. Typically, we should have seen +1 range by now. Because of lack of upgrading, you see him canceling, restarting. Spire is on the way. So a hidden Spire here from Solar. Very cheeky play. This is more viable in the current patch just because of the recent changes, just because of the buff to said Spire. And Mana has no idea. Mana, he has no idea. We'll see if Solar can get away with it. So far, Solar, he is being active, poking in, prodding. Mana's turtling up back at home. As we mentioned before, remember the Gateway Explosions is delayed for Mana, so he's just turtling up. He's not being active right now. And that means that this Spire, it should go unscouted. Oh. The Orca gets in. Wow, it does get in. Big revelation. Gets eyes on the Spire. Whew. Yeah, clutch moves there by Mana. Phoenix production begins immediately. Cannons are now on the way in the mineral lines. He's getting ready. And Solar, he knows. Like, he knows that he's been scouted. He knows that Mana's aware. If a stage gets turned down, taking up. Getting ready for Hive Tech. Overlord speed is an interesting one to me, so we do have access to drop play. Curious. Yeah, Ling Rich getting on top of the fourth base, taking a lot of hits. We spoke earlier, but getting a fourth on this map is so difficult. There's the first cancellation. Ay. Does cancel the expansion. Solar does pull away. Oh, actually, never mind. Mutas, they want the Void Ray. Void Ray does get away. Solar does pull out. Pulls back, pulls out. We do see Solar rotating over towards the south side. Behind this, has been taking up in towards Lurkers this entire time. And can he force another cancel? I think he can. There's plenty of roaches. Army's a little bit too far back. There it is, another cancel. And we should just keep seeing this. Like, there's a reason why at the start of this game we mentioned how a fourth base on the Old Republic is insanely hard to take when it comes to Protoss and Terran alike. We saw Maru struggle against Solar also on the Old Republic. We've seen plenty of Protoss players also struggle as well. As we take it for the third time. Uh-oh. He's posturing on the right. Solar, he's ready on the left. He wants the base again. Sees the army. Ooh, Solar, he reacts to the main army instead. he reacts, he responds. This fourth base finally can finish. But as it's finishing, what do we have? Lunkers. The Lunkers are building up. We have 8 lurkers on the way. And again, whether it's the center fourth base or the base on the right hand side, like they're both equally difficult to maintain, because how isolated the base on the right hand side is, how open it is as well. Immediately they go into the main. Link Roach coming for the backstab. Does move in, picks up a couple of stalkers. Muta's not achieving too much, but at this point it doesn't matter. At this point it's all about the Ling, Hydra, Lurker, Viper. No Vipers yet. Oh! Sully has to be careful. Muta's back into the main. Solar, he wants to commit in. Still doesn't quite have the numbers here, not yet. Mana, he has established the center base, but again, this is kind of where the main fight is going to occur. With Solo pushing in. We do get some storms off the lurkers. Oh no! They run into the army. A lot of lurkers do go down. Yeah, fumbled attack there from Solar. He's had a lot of lurkers. That was 8 lurkers falling. Okay. And Mana, he can punish. Oh, it doesn't quite have the numbers though. Mana pulling away. Gets another lurker. It's gonna be about 9 lurkers going down. And this is delaying the push. Like Sola, he should be back by now. He should be maxed out. He should be pushing it towards the 4th base, but he's just lost so many lurkers already. And once again, the lurker goes down. A nice fight here from Mana. Catching on more lurkers. Again, they need more support. As that's going to be 2 more lurkers going. Oh, just 1. 1 more lurker goes down. We have 6 more on the way. Again, these have been better fights for Mana. And he's buying time for the Mothership. For the Mothership, Tempest production as well. Mana, he still needs more time to build up though. And Solar is refining his army. He's gotten rid of all the roaches. We're done with the roaches. Corruptors are on the way. More Lings as well. So we're going for the counterattack. Does attract Mana. It's going to be cancelled. Cancels the 5th. Solo pushing in. Solar, he is moving in. Pushing on the right hand side. Oh, it looks like he does get the Mothership though. Really pulls away. Likewise, Solar, he's only fighting with half his army. He will lose every single lurker here. And this is not the first time this has happened this game. Oh, okay. No detection. 1 lurker does survive. Once again, Soul takes some very rough fights. As finally the Mothership goes down. Brings down the Mothership. So, like, he's still sustaining these trades. Despite the losses. Still maintaining himself. Mana still trying to keep up. And here we go. Solar, he's finally maxed out. He's finally maxed out. Pushing towards the fourth base, harassing on the right-hand side. It does burn within range. And how does Mana push into this? He has plenty of High Templar, but the expansion is exposed. So at the same time. Hydras, they will get a kill. Yeah, kill, not a cancel. And the fourth base is going to go down once again. That's looking for the Tempest. Oof. Brutal Storms. The base falls. Zelse did kill an expansion, but that pales in comparison to this, where Solar killed the fifth, he killed the fourth base. Mana's all in. Solar, nothing for Mana. And again, it's been an uphill battle this entire game. It's one of those things where Mana, he was able to take some better fights, that is true, but Solar, he's been left untouched almost this entire game, up until now, right? Finally, he lost the base, but for the most part, he hasn't been harassed, been looking comfortable. Remember, it was Mana who had a really hard time getting his fourth base. And Mana, he never maxed out. Never got to. Because of how delayed his economy was. Other Tempest falls. And again, this is it. What do we have? Okay, 7 High Templar, 7 Templar, 2 Archons, 1 Tempest. We got 6 Immortals. I mean, the army itself, it's quite dense. But we dive on the army lurkers, they burr in, and he does stand in the storms. The storms, they do crazy damage. But it's still a numbers game. And there's still just too much of the swarm. At the same time, 24 probes going down. Ay, ay, ay. Gets the transferring workers. And Mana down to his final units here. Oh, we'll lose one of the Immortals. Down to 3. Down to 3 Immortals. Down to 2. Stealth Smash to pull away. We'll bleed out the Archon. And again, the writing has been on the wall here. As Mana did attempt to turtle up and try to build up into Sky Toss, but GG gets called, and Solar, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played with that. Solar, he does take a lead in the series, and with that, we're now going to be, with that, Team Falcons, they take a lead, and we'll see if they can extend that lead as we do get into our next game. Let's go. Let us go. One moment as I quickly do update. Beautiful. But it does take a lead. Up next, we're going to be getting into that second game here. We have Clem versus Bunny in a TVP. Oh, let's go. Let us go. Game 2 is going to be on Ruby Rock. And this is going to be a big opportunity here for Team Liquid to bring it back. Again, Clem, he is the best Terran in the world. Likewise, he's one of the best Protoss players in the world as well. It's going to be an uphill battle for our Terran player, but we'll see how we approach this morning. In the bottom right-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss, the red Protoss player himself. For Team Liquid, it is Clem. Here we go. Chat, Storm is useless garbage. I hope that's not in reference to the game we just casted. We did see Storm do quite a bit, actually, and if you remember, we were discussing how Mana was actually taking better fights, was actually out trading Solar when it came to their skirmishes. Storm was a big part of that, but if you recall, we were trying to emphasize that the map itself, it does not really favor defensive play. We saw the fourth base denied, what, 2-3 times. The fifth was killed, the fourth was killed again as well. Like, it is very difficult to defend your fringe bases, or your fourth and fifth, specifically on the Old Republic. It's very difficult, and when I say difficult, I mean almost impossible. like we have yet to see anyone succeed when it comes to like defending and maintaining a high base count on the Old Republic. That's how extreme the map is when it comes to how vulnerable those bases are, just because of how open they are, just because of how spread out they are when it comes to the linear 5th base or the linear 4th base, the attack angles, the rotations. And kind of we saw that come into play. So it was less so like the power or the strength of the units of mana, more so the economy and his ability to actually build up. I don't think mana ever exceeded 160 supply, right? Like he just had a really hard time just amassing any kind of army because of the lack of economy. So I hope you were able to make that clear. As we are loading into Ruby Rock, welcome to one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool. Here the rush distance by ground is shorter than that of previously than that of the Old Republic. It's very direct as well. The 3rd base here is a little more open. You can see here we have a very wide entrance into the 3rd base, and you can also have a very wide entrance here in between the natural and 3rd as well. As a result, we have seen a lot of all-ins. We've seen a lot of all-ins on this map, a lot of 2-base all-ins, 3-base all-ins, a lot of aggression on Ruby Rock, and I'm leaning towards an aggressive build from Bunny. So we'll see if Bunny does go for a bit of a lower base count, if he goes into extra Raxes. We'll keep an eye on Bunny. For now, going for a double gas opener. Double gas opener, delayed CC, faster factory, into early add-on swap, into Cyclone. Oh, sorry, I think it was more of an economic opener. But let's go for the Cyclone. This is to shut down the Adept, is to be more defensive early on. And we'll see where this leads. Meanwhile, Twilight Council opener out of Clem. Clem, he often doesn't really deviate. Like, we do often see standard builds and standard game out of Clem. He's often going 3-gate blink, sometimes 4-gate blink, into a 3rd base, into splash damage. He doesn't really play around too much with charge or with Stargate play. And yep, so far, getting a 3rd gateway. Oh. Never mind, we did just bring it up. Sometimes he does go 4-gate blink. 4-gate blink Stalker out of Clem. And this is a good way to kind of out-aggress your opponent, if you will. So a hyper-aggressive build here by Clem. I mean, we spoke about it, right? Ruby Rock does favor aggressive builds. I was expecting more of that from the Terran side, but no, Clem is going to do that himself. So Clem is going to be the aggressor. Bunny has to be very careful with how he moves out, very careful with how he does approach Clem. Oh boy. As the 4-gate setup is upon us, War Prisoners on the way, so Clem can reinforce across the map. He's going to commit. Yes, Bunny does drop into the natural. Doesn't see too much yet. Did not get into the main. Gets a probe, pulls away. Here comes the counterattack. Here comes the 4-gate blink. Oh boy, what do we have to defend? We have 1 tank on the low ground. The 2nd tank should be able to pop out in time. No bunker. The bunker is late. Army's racing back home. Bunny's racing back. And we'll see if Bunny can hold on. He has a buy time for the bunker. Bunny has bow tanks on the low ground. He does spot the army. Okay, does rotate back. Tank is sieging up. He wants that tank. Yeah, Clem, he dives in. He goes to dive. 1 tank goes down. Massive pickup. Takes down the 1st tank. Bunker does not finish. He's pushing in towards the mineral line. 2nd tank does get to low ground. Yeah, 2nd tank has arrived. Clem is going to be forced out of the natural. Bunny's holding. Whew. Bunny so far, he is holding on. Clem is not stopping. Warping in 4 Stalkers at a time. Waiting at the tank shot. Here does bait. Yeah, baits out the tank. Dives in, takes down the Medivacs. Oh, boys are being pulled, and Bunny holds. Yeah, Bunny holds once again, barely gets the tank in time. Bunny shutting this down. Now, what is scary about Clem's position, the 3rd base is late. This is a late 3rd base because he was so committed to 4-gate blink Stalker. Likewise, late Forge, late +1, late Charge. There's still a lot of pressure on Clem to get more damage done. He needs more back. Oh. And he does not get the medevac, but trades well against Marines. No tank in the main. Oh. Yeah, no tank in the main base, but still some brutal losses here. Clem microing his heart out. That was still 4 Stalkers going down. And the important thing as well is that Bunny, he's able to maintain a semblance of an army here. He still has his 2 tanks. Oh, but Clem gets behind the mineral line. 4 Stalkers, they can one-shot SCVs. They get 5. 5 workers going down. A Bunny going for his own counter drop. A stim is done. Oh, Shema, papi, Shema. Tal, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Nice catch here by Clem. The boys are being pulled. Bunny is going for the 2-base all-in. He's going for the all-in. Drop into the main base. Does force a recall. And he recalls back home, and it's on Clem here to slow this down to engage ahead of time. As Clem, he defends the main. He defends the main base. There's only 1 tank with the main army. Oof. Charge will stay engaged. That's a lot of Marines already going down. Bunny's running out of steam here. Yeah, Bunny's running out of steam. The tank will fall. Brutal pickoff. And Bunny, he has almost nothing left. Yeah, he'll lose everything. GG gets called. Clem, he'll survive the 2-base all-in. And Clem ties up the series at 1-1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A very intense game here. We had Clem initially going for his own 4 Gapling Stalker. I will say that Bunny did survive, did defend, but his goal there, his choice was to commit to the counterattack, to commit to the all-in, to try to break Clem, to try to punish him for his failed aggression. But alas, he bled out too much. He bled out far too much moving out across the map. He only had 2 tanks, only 1 with the main army as well. He just didn't have enough. GG. GG, well played. With that, we are tied up 1-1, and you know what time it is? It's time for the 2v2s. Let's go. Here we go. As we're getting ready for our 2v2 matchup, Clem is going to be joined by Mana. Likewise, Bunny is going to be joined by Rogue. We go. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Gem Garden, we have our duo here. We have the Polish Protoss, we have the French Terran, we have Clem and Mana for Team Liquid. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the teal Zerg player, we have the blue Terran, we have Rogue and Bunny, we have Team Falcons. Here we go. As we're getting into our 2v2, and again, so far we are tied up 1-1 in this best of 13. We are tied up, and who'll take a lead? Let's go. Now, again, I've been very impressed by Rogue and Bunny's ability to work together in these 2v2s. Rogue has been it's very common to see him be hyper greedy. He's going hatch first. We have seen hatch before gas and pool before. We have seen hatch pool hatch as well. So we'll see how greedy Rogue is going to be this time. As we've seen some hyper greed, and we have seen him punished for it in the past. But now, hatch, gas, pool, standard opener out of our Zerg player. Okay. No shenanigans this time. Meanwhile, it's going to be a 2-rax Reaper out of Clem. So hyper aggression, 2-rax Reaper. Meanwhile, Mana does go 2-gate as well. If you remember, this build that Clem and Mana are going for, 1, it's hyper aggressive. 2, this is how they beat Bunny and Rogue last time. I mentioned earlier how Rogue has been known to cut a lot of corners, and Rogue has been going for a lot of 3 hatch before pool. Not this time though. Rogue plays safe, he plays standard, and this time the hyper aggressive build should not be anywhere near as successful. Should not be successful. Bunny goes in. Bunny does confirm the 2 gates, and he sees both. Oh, he sees everything. Bunny, he confirms everything. He sees both Raxes, and he sees both gateways. So they know what's coming with their way. Rogue and Bunny are aware. So you can see kind of like the meta evolve between these two teams. And will evolve and kind of shift over time. Checking the vision, Clem, they do get a bit of a scatter across the map. They don't really get to see too much though. Sees the gas, didn't see the pull timing. Still a little bit in the dark. Link speed is on the way. Rogie pulls out of gas. And building up those queens, building up those links. As speaking of a great, yeah, we're doubling down. We're doubling down. Glavenep's on the way from mana. Let's go. Clem getting into stim into a 3 racks. So Mana and Clem, they're following this up with the 2 base all in. So they move in, they apply pressure. They shouldn't break their opponents. Spinecrawler is ready. And Rogue will defend. At the same time, Rogue, he slips out across the map with a handful of lings. So bold move by Rogue, and Rogue, he's flooding more lings. There's 14 more lings in production. He's moving out. He does move out. Back at home, there's 1 adept. There is potential for Sim City. Lings are up the ramp. Oh, he does get in. Yeah, it does get in. Oh, going for the adepts. They should be fine. Yeah, the depths of Marines, they do defend. Lings that don't get much done. We have more lings flooding out across the map. Rogue, he's putting himself behind economically to pull this off, and so far it's not worth it. Yeah, there's so much micro potential with this army. Doesn't get the Reapers, they slip away. Adepts, they back off as well. And Glaives is about to kick in. And remember, what was Clem doing? He was going for extra Raxes into a 4 racks. 4 rack stim timing, as I mentioned, as we try to emphasize, 2 base all in here from both of Team Liquid. And Rogue is in danger. Rogue, he's in trouble. Oh, always pulled for a moment there to defend. And lings are all going to be thrown away. And now it's go time. And again, Team Liquid, they have a massive advantage here. They have a massive army. They're moving out. Back at home, what do we have to defend? We have 1 spine, we have 1 tank, we have a queen, we have some units here. We have attempted mech out of Bunny, but it takes a long time to get into mech. The production's not ready. Yeah, there's no buffer. There's no buffer. There's no support. Here we go. Here comes the rally. Here comes a rally from Team Liquid. To have a 3rd CCs on the bold move by Bunny, getting a 3rd CC in the face of the all-in. Ah, no. There are 2 tanks, but Adepts are going to be committing. Yeah, dive on top of the tanks. Both tanks will go down. Marines, oh, the Marines, they take a lot of tank shots to the face, but the Adepts, they hold their own. Yeah, Adepts are popping up. Trading well with the army. There's 1 Cyclone, the Queens. I mean, there's a Transfuse. There are a couple of Transfuses. Nice force field, locks down the Cyclone. Adepts are shading in. Adepts being cleaned up. Okay. Gee, but there's more. We still have more moving out. That's a little bit unfortunate. Mana, he shades into the 3rd. There's nothing to kill. There's nothing here. There's no drones, Fappy. And now he can't support the Marines. Uh-oh. Mana. There we go. Does get behind the natural. Trading as best he can. Clem stims in. Remember, he has no metavacs. Every stim is hurting him. Tommy's getting low. Still, he trades well. And Team Liquid, they've done it. At this point, they have broken the bases. I say that there are 3 tanks, though. Tank shots. Ooh, massive connections. Bunny's holding. He's got his tanks. The tanks are out for Bunny. They're surviving. As the Adepts are still trying to wreak havoc, forcing friendly fire. Oof. Tank shots into the mineral line. Mana still rallying across the map, by the way, with more Adepts. Again, there's still nothing here, Patty. But he spots the Mutas. And Rogue is going Ling Muta. Mutas are popping out. The tank count is slowly building up for Bunny. It's been a shaky defense here, but Team Falcons, they're barely hanging on back at home. Mana, he's on 3 bases. Mana's on 3 bases. We do see Clem also with 3 CC. Mana and Clem, they may not have killed Bunny and Rogue, but I mean, they're ahead, right? They've dealt enough damage. They've given themselves a nice lead. Mutas try to move in, but Clem is here to protect Mana. It's here to protect. And can Team Falcons stabilize? Now, the way this works here, ideally, is as Adepts being cleaned up across the map, and then you get another tank. But ideally, the Mutas, they just contain, right? They contain and they keep Clem and Mana busy. They might do some damage here and there, but more importantly, they keep the army at home. Meanwhile, Bunny and Rogue, ideally, droning up, saturating. Oh, did end up losing that hatchery to the Adepts. Oof. Has to rebuild the hatchery. They've got a lot of macroing to do. The economy is in shambles. Mutas, they break into the main. Main army's moving out across the map. And again, Mutas, they do distract, they do harass, they're annoying. But in a head-on fight, what does Rogue really have to work with? He only has a handful of Mutas back at home. Nice, spread out to Clem. He spreads well. Excuse me. No third base here for Rogue. Aye, aye, aye. How many mutas do we have? 18, okay. Decent muta count. Catching out more stalkers, harassing, punishing Mana. Same time, we do see Clem moving in, but Bunny's at him to defend. Bunny's here for his boy. And Bunny, he's taking the role of being that defensive wall. Meanwhile, Rogue just being as annoying as possible across the map, getting more damage. And for the most part, they're working together well. The problem here, though, is that they're both on 2 bases. There's no third CC for Bunny. There's no third hatchery for Rogue. There's only so much they can do on 2 bases. What I'm getting at is that I feel like this should lead into an all-in. Clem is getting a 4th. It's getting a 4th base. Here we go. Here comes Bunny. But he's got 10 tanks. And again, there's no third, right? There's no third base for Bunny, so it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing for our Terran. For Bunny. Does drop into the Marines. He's got his Hellbat drops. Tanks do siege, and Mana comes in from behind. Oh, brutal surround. Mana and Clem, they work together. They shut down Bunny. Where's Rogue? Rogue is across the map. He's still trying to harass, but he fails to distract Mana. And Bunny will lose everything. Bunny will lose everything. He was on his own. As you mentioned, the goal for Rogue was to distract, but they just ignored him. Did kill a mineral line as a result, but they just ignored Rogue. Shut down Bunny. GG gets called, and Team Liquid will take a lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, we did see I would say, a pretty successful 2-base all-in by Clem and Mana. They didn't kill, but they did cripple. They did cripple to the point where, I mean, we saw that both Bunny and Rogue, they never got to expand. They never got a third base. They could never really think to get into a macro game. So they were able to somewhat try to stabilize on 2 bases, but they were forced regardless into a 2-base all-in. They had no economy to sustain themselves behind it, and it was impressive, you know, how Bunny was able to defend. Rogue was harassing quite well across the map, but towards the end there, we saw that they just ignored Rogue. They collapsed on Bunny. GG. GG, well played. With that, Team Liquid, they do take a lead in the series, and now we are getting into our next game, into game number 4, into the final game of the first set. We're going to be loading into Rogue versus Cure on Mothership. Let's go. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid down in this series, but can he bounce back for his team and tie things up? It is a Cure. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. Oh, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. We go. And welcome one and all to Mothership. Mothership is a 3-player spawn map, is a massive map as well. Very large map, 3-player spawns. As a result, we do see a lot of long and late game. We've seen a lot of longer and later games on this map. What I will say as well is that the bases themselves are a little bit more open, referring to the 4th and 5th expansion. They're a little bit more spread out, a little bit more open, a little bit more accessible here to an aggressing Zerg player. So coming into a longer game, I do think that I do lean towards Rogue here, but we'll see how Cure will approach this. We'll see how aggressive he's going to be. See, he's no stranger to aggression, no stranger to 8-Raxes. Don't think this is the best map for an 8-Rax, but regardless. So just setting up the stream title. Setting up. As we have a standard economic opener here by Cure. Hatch gas pool out of Rogue. And again, we are scouting each other. We do see the Curious checking the bottom side. Meanwhile, Rogue likewise fanning at his overlords as well to scout for his opponent. Rogue is looking. Yo, shout out to Stream Elements. Got us back. Morning, buenos dias. Is this live? As Stream Elements is saying, typically expect the cast to be live unless specified otherwise. As you can see in the stream title, does say replay cast. These games were from a couple of days ago. Couple of days ago, Pat. Oh, as Cure, he will delay the expansion, kills the drone as well. Ay, that should not have happened. So nice pickoff here. He was able to delay with the SCV blocking. The Reaper caught the drone. Nice start for Cure. Likewise, Rogue has found Cure's spawn location. Has found him once again. Rogue trying to expand. Ooh, taking the forward base. No shots. Force take the forward expansion here. This is going to be very vulnerable to aggression, and we'll see if Cure does try to lean on that. As Cure, you can see he's checking for the third. Checks, sees no third base here at the triangular location. He doubles back around, checking for the linear third base. No third base here. He might misread this, actually. He might think it's a 2-base all-in or 2-base roach. No, she gets another drone. Oh god, it gets 2 drones. Drones are going down. Reaper does get into the main. Again, he's looking for a Roach Warren. And he sees nothing. Okay, yeah, he doesn't quite confirm here. Behind this going 3 CC Banshee standard follow-up. Now currently Cure, he's in the dark as to what's happening, but with his Hellions he should soon move out across the map and he should find the expansion. Once he does, we'll see if he can deviate and try to punish. Again, this is a much more exposed third location for Rogue. Oh, Hyperflight Rotors. This is typically indicative of mech. Going into Hyperflight Rotors, investing that much more into Hellion Banshee. You have my attention. Tech Lab is on the way in the racks, so I should leave it to get into Stim unless we see a second factory. But that should be Stim. Should be by it. Okay, we're okay. Secure does take us third. Checking the Hellions, they have yet to confirm the base. He's waiting for additional Banshees. There we go. Now he rotates. Now he confirms. And yep, mech. As we mentioned, High Flight Rotors is typically indicative of mech. We do go for the add-on swap, and mech is going to be on the way. Now, when it comes to mech here in the current patch, it is still viable. Battle mech is weaker, 100%. Battle mech is weaker, but you don't have to play battle mech. You can go into a more traditional form of mass tank into Banshee, mass tank Banshee Hellion, into Viking production. Zero Load is being hunted down. And Rogue is going Lingbane Muta. Uh-oh. Okay. So a couple things going on here. Lingbane Muta, I actually want to favor, specifically in this position. The anti-air is very limited. And because Battle Mech is weaker, the likelihood of you investing heavily here into Cyclone is a lot lower. So Mutas, they have potential. Banshees poke in. Poke in, they pull away. Links are being cleaned up. And do we invest into Magfield? Some more factories are on the way. Again, what is the anti-air here? It is going to be one Cyclone. Spire's almost done. Yeah, he's getting into Magfield, getting into more Cyclones. But again, these Cyclones are weaker than they once were. Specifically, their lock-ons. Their lock-ons, there's going to be a longer delay before they can relock onto targets. The mutas are coming. It was a big gamble here. Now, we'll see if the mutas hunt down the Banshees first, or if they just ignore them and go across the map and try to deal maximum damage. They got revealed. Yeah, mutas are revealed. Tars are on the way. Kirhinos. Kirhinos. Hellions, they force their way into the mineral line. Do get a couple drone kills. A couple workers go down. Oh my god. I didn't even. What is happening? Oh my god. What? We're constructing Colossus. I didn't even notice this was here. Okay. Let's go. We're like 3D printing Colossus. Look at him go. But again, Cure, he had the heads up. He was able to scout. He's ready with his turrets. And he is making Cyclone Viking. Okay. So Cure, he will defend. We have a back and forth. Now, he will get two mutas. Nice pickups. What I was going to say here is that I don't know if I'm in love with the idea of playing mech and turtling up on 4 bases on this map, just because of the 4th base being that much more open. Meanwhile, no reaction, no reaction. No! Oh my god, no reaction. Bailey's get in. 15 SCVs go down. Cure, he was distracted. And Rogue can set up for another run by. Links are dealt with. There's still more links in position. Off mode for Cure. I go to bed and the Ducklings are streaming. I wake up and the Ducklings are streaming. The infinite cycle. No. Not like this, baby. Not like this. When do I get to sleep? When do Well, I mean, we did have an obscenely long cast this morning, to be fair. It's brutal. As Muse, they do find a base. At the same time, Lings, they do not get into the natural. Whew. Yeah, this time, Curie's paying attention. In reaction time, he pulls away. As Rogue getting on some of these Cyclones. Cyclone's going to be going down. A CC's under fire. It does catch fire even. Oh, good. And Curie's out of position. And he may just lose the base himself. One more volley. Base goes down. Lings, they flood in. And Curie's just being pulled apart. Forcing friendly fire. 11 SCV kills. Tank falls as well. And we spoke about it. Like, turtling up on 4 bases is going to be difficult on Mothership. Oh, it is difficult on Mothership. Double expanding. Rogue keys maxed out. I guess another 9 SCVs. 9 workers. Things that don't quite get in this time. And the pressure's on Rogue to engage ahead of time. The scary thing here, right now, like Curie, he's stuck on 3 bases, that is true, but you can see that his army's slowly getting bigger. Like, he's slowly building up more tanks, more Cyclones, more Hellions. The supply here is getting a little bit out of hand. 3-3 is on the way, and he may just go for a big all-in, where he goes for one massive, like, death ball of an army push to kill the Zerg. So it's on Rogue to make sure he's able to slow down the army, pick away whatever he can, and engage ahead of time. Secure expands. Yeah, slowly we do want to get rid of these mutas. Ling's trying to make their way in. Double Nidus into the main base. Let's go. What do we have? Just Massling Bane. Just Massling Bane. Picking up more turrets, more CVs. Nidus Storms to finish. Lings are flooding into the main base. Up. Yeah, Bailey stays throwing away the SCVs. But the turret does hold. That's a lot of mutas going down. He can deny 3-3. Okay. Not bad. +3 defense is denied. Mutas, they still distract. But +3 attack will finish. Will finish up. Oh, good. And what's the remax on Ultras? We're mastering up Ultras, Microbial Shroud. He's getting ready for the push. Kindness plating is done. 3-3 has yet to begin, so the upgrades are a little bit lacking for Rogue, as he has the money for it, but he has not begun his 3-3 upgrades. So a bit of an oversight. The other scary thing here is that Cure, he has gotten his 4th base. Again, it'll slowly max out. You were stuck in the main. There we go. Now 3-3 begins. It's very, very late, but at least it's on the way. Both armors are maxed out, and we spoke about a Cure. Now that he's finally maxed, now it's time to push. He's at least trying to. I just want to distract. Cure turns around. How many infestors? 0. I'll be honest, without my Cobalt Shroud, I don't know how well this army can really engage. I mean, Blinding Clouds will help as well, true. Come down to the Blinding Clouds. Curious yet to move out. 18 drones going out. Very nice heli run by the way. Barbecue is real. He's still not done. He's gonna get even more. He's gonna get even more damage. 23. 26 workers at the same time. Here you go, Rogue. He just commits. He commits on in. Mass blinding comes over the tanks. Ultras, they roll on through. As we're out of blinding clouds. But likewise, there's not many tanks left. Oof. Ultras, they do get cleaned up. Cure holds. Cure, he holds on. Now, what's scary here is that Rogue doesn't really have much of a bank to work with. He's got 8 more Ultras on the way. Rogue, he did retain his Vipers, thankfully. They did survive. Viper survived. Rogue, he does remax. Again, his gas income is very limited. He just lost his gas mining, of course. There's a lot of workers that go down. And once again, Cure, his goal should just be to turtle up. Earlier it was to turtle up to max out to push, but he just lost a big portion of his army. So he just got to turtle up back at home. Until we can max out. Cure does establish a 5th base. This is denied. Game rolling in. Does get some blinding clouds. But the Thors, they can still hold their own. Tanks, they pop up. Ultras, can they break through? Well, we're down to 4, down to 3. Nah, he doesn't break through. Doesn't break through. Every Ultra goes down. Expensive losses for Rogue. And this is the big concern here. Rogue, he does pull back into gas, but he has no gas bank. Rogue, he's remaxing with like 100 links. Let's go. The Ling Bane remax. Now, Cure, he basically has his quadrant of the map. This is one more base. Here it is. This is the final base here for Cure. When it comes to his corner, when it comes to his 3rd, I should say, as it is a 3-place world map. Now he's going to start encroaching on the bases of Rogue. Rogue has almost everything else. Now, when it comes to the perfect, like, ideal army, Cure, he isn't there yet. He's going Mass, Hellion, Tank, Thor, Viking. Ideally, you do have a couple of Ghosts sprinkled in as well, but it also depends on the composition. Like, if he's up against Broodlords, then that's when Ghosts are going to be more required. Thankfully for Cure, this is still a very ground-focused army. It's still very Link main, ultra-heavy. And likewise, very light on spellcasters. We mentioned earlier that Microbial Shroud was researched, but we never got into any Infestors here. Just been heavily reliant on Microbial Shrouds. Sorry, on Blinding Clouds, the other one. Snapping in, does get into all the tanks. Yeah, this position here is vulnerable, gets 2 more tanks. Planetary as well. Cure's out of position. Cure's out of position. Northern base will fall. Nice pick off here by Rogue. Something going his way. Meanwhile, big shout out to Babylings. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. Best of luck with your move as well. Best of luck. Big day. Big couple of days. As welcome to the Grand Gatherers Season 2 Lower Bracket Finals. This is a best of 13 Team League match between Team Liquid and Team Falcons. Best of 13. Happy best of 13. Here we go. So Angel just claps in. Once again, surrounds the Thors. Nice pickups. Likewise, Rogue, he does strike the left-hand base as well. Gets into the mineral line. Moves up a couple of SCVs. Doesn't get the planetary. But these have been some nice moves. Again, like the mech army in the center was very condensed, and we saw Rogue take some really rough fights trying to brute force the issue in the center. So just avoid the center, avoid the main army, and attack the fringe bases. Strike the fringe bases instead. Uh-oh. Cure does go for the mass on siege. He is moving in. As he moves in, Rogue going for the run by, going for the counterattack once again. Again, Rogue he avoids the main army. Gets into the mineral line, a couple of SCV kills. Deepers as well. Yo, shout out to the changelings. Messing up the pathing. As he does go for the main fight once again, Mass Blinding Cloud covers a good 2/3 of the tanks. And the tanks are falling. Yeah, this time the Thors are behind. And a much better trade for Rogue. Unlike the previous fight where the Thors were in front of the tanks, here the tanks were in front of the Thors. So really rough positioning here for Cure. A massive loss for his army. Losing how many tanks? Losing 16 tanks. Oh my god. It's a lot of tanks going down. Yeah, 16 tanks do fall. The Thors mainly survive. Without the tanks, there's no backbone to this army. And again, Cure, he was out of position. He was responding to a run by. Thors, they pulled back at the wrong moment. And Rogue can now clean up. Can now clean up here. Again, just capitalizing on Cure's mistake. Oh, really? It's all thanks to the changelings. True. They didn't allow the Thors to move forward. Yeah, and now Cure, he's out of steam. He's out of steam. Tanks are unsieged, getting caught out. And Rogue has done it. broken cure. GG gets called, and Rogue, he will extend the lead for his team, for Team Falcons, 3-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. An intense back and forth. Definitely strong moments for both teams, for both players, 100%. Oh. Wait, hold on. I say 2-1. Sorry, we're tied up 2-2 is what I meant to say. I think I had the wrong score on screen. But we are tied up 2-2 here. Again, Solo beat Mana, Clem took down Bunny, Clem and Mana took down Rogue and Bunny as well. So we are tied up 2-2. GG, well played. We are tied up. But again, winding it back, Cure, he did have some really strong fights in the center of the map, but we did mention that he was being pulled apart. He had a really hard time defending his northern and southern bases at the same time. We did mention how the bases here on Mothership, they're more spread out. It is more difficult to be turtle heavy. That's why I was like, oh, I'm not too fond of the idea of going into mech. Despite that, I was eating my words because, hey, Cure, he had a strong start, being able to turtle up quite well for himself. But once he started getting a 4th, 5th, and 6th base, that's when he was spreading himself thin, and he struggled to maintain his bases. As a result, his army was spread, he was spreading himself thin, as we mentioned, and we saw Rogue just take advantage of that. It all led into that final fight where the Thors were behind the tanks. The tanks were the first thing to go down. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we are now tied up 2-2. And that was our first set of 4 matches concluding. So for those that weren't here earlier, when it comes to the format, this is a best of 13, and in this tournament, the way that it works, it is Pro League format. The first 4 matches were revealed ahead of time. They were revealed, and we just concluded those 4 matches. Currently tied up 2-2. Now we have a team roster refresh. In your typical tournament like this, you can only field a player once, except for the ace match. As you can see, we field Solar, Bunny, and Rogue for Team Falcons. Team Liquid, they fielded Mana, Clem, and Cure. They also had the 2v2 as well, but now it is time to refresh that roster and refield our players. Lineups are about to be revealed, and we'll see what games or what lineups we have for Tourmaline, Gem Garden, Andromeda, and 10,000 feet. Oh boy. So we are going to be going on a short break. Again, we have the one best of 13 tonight, so we're going to be going on a very short break. When we come back, we will have our next set of matches. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after this short break. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the third of the broadcast. We are mid-series. We're mid-series here in the Crank Gather Season 2 Playoffs Day 3 Lower Bracket Finals. Team Liquid versus Team Falcons. We are currently mid-series. We are tied up 2-2. And it's time to reveal the next set of matches. Here we go. So as we mentioned, this is a best of 13. We just played out our first 4 games, and we're about to have a roster refresh, and we're about to refield our players. Mana, of course, is the team captain for Team Liquid. For Team Falcons, I'm not too sure. I think it might be Solar. I'm not too certain who the team captain is. So best of luck to our teams as we are going to be revealing said lineups. And bam, who do we got? Okay. So no surprises with the 2v2. It's going to be Clem and Mana versus Rogue and Bunny. This also confirms Skillis is not available. Skillis, he is not available here tonight. As we see, he is not fielded in the refresh. He is available, like he could be if he was around. You're not limited to reusing the same players. If your team is bigger, you can field others, but Skillis is not going to be a part of this, not a part of this series at least. So Nikita is nowhere to be found. Up first, we have Mana versus Rogue on Tourmaline. Okay, so we have Mana versus Rogue in a PvZ. We have the rematch of Clem, Mana, and Rogue Bunny on Gem Garden. We then have a Clem versus Bunny once again, another rematch, this time on Andromeda, and we have Cure versus Solar on 10,000 feet. Interesting. We did have some larger open maps in the first set of matches with the Old Republic and with Mothership. Now we're loading into some of the more aggressive maps with Andromeda, with 10,000 feet, with Tourmaline as well. I mean, Tourmaline's a little bit more middle of the road, and kind of. We'll get into it, Pappy. As up next, Mana and Rogue on Tourmaline. Let's go. Hold on, I also have to update my own scores. Un momento, Pappy, un momento. We have Mana, we have Clem, and Mana. Then we have Clem, then we have Cure. Clem playing Protoss once again, of course. Of course. Then we have Rogue and Bunny. Bunny again. Solar at the end. Beautiful. Okay, so we're jumping into our next game. Our next game is going to be that PvZ on Tourmaline. Let's go. As spawning in the top right hand corner here of Tourmaline, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss himself representing Team Liquid from land of Poland. It is Mana. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the we have the South Korean Zerg player going for the 12 pool. We have for Team Falcons, it is Rogue. Let's go, baby, let's go. The 12 pool is upon us. Thankfully, you do see a probe scout out of Mana. He will soon confirm what exactly is going on. And for now, he is patrolling here on the low ground, looking for his opponent, looking for the expansion. And you can see here, he's quote-unquote blocking the base, but the drone is really moving out. Yeah, he's moving out across the map, but Rogue, he fakes expanding, and he's going for the proxy hatch across the map instead. We're doubling down, and Mana's none the wiser. Mana, he has not checked the main. Oh no, the bait is real, the fake out, pappy. You see Rogue is like, oh no, I can't expand. Ah, oh, what a shame. You got me. Never mind. As the drone is out on the map, link production has begun. Mana now, he now knows. Yeah, now he knows something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Hatchery has been thrown down across the map, and Mana, he's going for the cannon rush response. He's going for the forge into defensive cannons. But is this reaction too late? Because here come the lings. Yeah, lings are already moving out across the map. It's a late forge, late realization, late reaction. Rogue, he's flooding across the map. Mana is fully walling up. Second pylon, the first zealot will pop out. But again, the SimCity here is going to be very awkward. And Rogue is going for the gateway. He's going for the gate. The gate is exposed. Zealot trying to move in. Trying to engage. Up! Got some scythe off. The boys are being pulled. Yeah, boys are being pulled. Cannon is in production. And it looks like the cannon will fit. Oh no, the surround! Oh my god, the Zealots barely get away. Zealot pulls out. Second Zealot has arrived. Doesn't get surrounded. Yeah, Rogue, a bit of miscontrol. He did miss the opportunity. And with that, mana holds. Whew, very nice defense here. The cannon rush, the cannon is here. The Zealots didn't get surrounded. And with that mana, he did have to pull the boys. Now we can pull back. Now we can expand. Now we can settle in. Likewise, Rogue also expands back at home as well. We have survived said early game at Rogue because his base is so late, double expanding, going for his natural and going for his third at the same time. So Rogue is double expanding, gas is being taken. Coming into this, I do favor Mana's position. Like, Mana not looking too bad. As Rogue, he sacrificed so much to make that happen, and in the end, wasn't worth it. As Mana does move out. Moves out, he hits the third. Rogue, he's going to try to engage. There's a lot of damage being dealt. Getting a Ling. Sniping one of those Zerglings, gets a second. Dev shades into the main base. They do pull away, but again, they've gotten the hatchery incredibly low. The hatchery is low. Nice control here about out of mana. He will eventually lose these Zealots. Zealots are going down, but the hatchery goes down to less than half HP. And we'll see if that comes into play. As Mana's going for a Stargate. Arcade opener out of mana. And Rogue has some catching up to do. He pulls out of gas, so getting to Ling speed, droning up as best he can. Getting his third. Working towards his third base. We're recovering. Again, after an intense early game, we're slowing the game down here, getting into the mid game. Again, I do prefer Mana's position currently, but we'll see how Rogue can recover. He did invest quite heavily into these Lings, and he wants that third base. Lings get spotted. Yeah, they do get spotted. Lings, they get a probe. They go for the pylon. They don't get much though. Yeah, the Oracle did race back home. Mana defends. And Mana will have early +1. +1 is on the way. From here, should be working towards Blink. Now, something that we didn't really get to discuss here is Lings, they hit the third base once again. Going for the cannon. Cannon goes down. But something about this map is how accessible the natural and the third base are. The rush distance by ground is very short, very direct. I'm referring to the pathway from the natural to natural. Like, it's very, very short, very direct as well. There's no cliff faces, there's no ramps, there's no side blockers either. It's very direct. So we have seen a lot of successful, specifically 3-base all-ins. I didn't get to discuss that because of the 12 pool early on, but 3-base all-ins are very common and very powerful here on Tourmaline. So we'll see if Rogue saturates his fourth once he throws down the hatchery. He's taking gases, joining up, saturating his bases. Oh, surrounds one of the stalkers. Blink is not yet done. Nice pick up. Nice pick up so far. Roaches are going to be amassing here from Rogue. So far, joining up to 61. And he's cutting workers. So far, cutting workers at 3 base saturation, building on more roaches. And, oh, that I was not expecting. Okay, he starts up drones and he starts up a Spire. Going into muta play. Okay. He's going for mutas. Getting into a longer game. So Rogue, he's macroing up. And now it's going to be on Mana to scout and figure out what's happening. Now Blink is about to finish. With Blink finishing up, that means that Mana can be active. He can start to push. He can start to threaten bases, specifically the center fourth. And Mana, he moves in. He will force a cancel. Ooh. Force a cancellation. Blinks away. Nice stasis. Stasis goes off. Solid control here by Mana. A este canoya. Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos. Speaking of the fourth base, he wants it again. He wants it. Up. One more volley. Oh my god. Yeah, another cancellation. At the same time, Rogue does slip out across the map. He slips by. Breaking down the cannon, busting into the natural. Mane's racing back home, he's out of position. As Rogue does stack at 3 places at once. Lings are in the main. Roaches towards the right hand side, and more roaches towards the left. Yeah, there's an army in every expansion here. Oh, the boys are being pulled. Probes are going down. Brutal damage in the main. And can he force a cancel? Up. Barely can. Oh my, that's a kill. No, that should not have happened. That's a kill, not a cancel. The base goes down. Lings, they flood into the third. Cannon falls as well, getting more probe kills. 26 in total. And again, Mana, he was doing well for himself. He was holding his own up until this, right? Up until the bust or the break into the natural. Mana, he was out of position and he scrambled for a defense. Everything fell apart. Did Rogue let the Spire finish? Okay, he did, yeah. So what happened to the Spire? Well, here he comes. Here come the mutas. And again, Mana, he had no idea. Mutas, they get into the main. They force a recall. There's barely any probes left. As the hatchery does go down. Mana gets some damage done across the map. But for the most part, Rogue is in control. He's in control. Looking very comfortable. Takes us to the base. Takes the center expansion. Mana, he has to commit. Look at the hatchery once again. And we're going for the base trade. Lings are in the natural. Roaches, they hit the third. We're committing. Oh, the High Templar. No, no. Bird Templar. Bird Templar go down. 0 storms. And nice pick off. Nice snipes. As mutas are being thrown away. These Stalkers, they're still trading relatively well, but bases are falling left and right. So Rogue is racing back home. And Mana, he's just running out of army. He has no economy. He can't afford it. He can't afford war pins. Can't afford to reinforce. Roaches, they come in from behind. Oof. And with that, Rogue GG gets called. Rogue, he will take a lead for himself, for his team. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a very chaotic game here. I will say that initially... I will say that initially we saw that... sorry, just setting things up. Initially, we did see that Mana, he had a really good defense. He had a really good defense against the 12 pull, against the initial rush from Rogue. As we mentioned, like, Mana, he was not in a bad position. He was denying the 4th base twice, if you recall, as well. but as he was applying pressure to the 4th base, Rogue, he had the wherewithal to actually peel off a couple of Lings and Roaches off to the side and go for a counterattack. It was a bold move. It's one of the reasons why he couldn't, I mean, you could argue that maybe he wouldn't have been able to save the base anyway, but that's the reason why he was losing the 4th base, is because a lot of supply was across the map instead, sneaking out to hit the natural. And it was worth it. He was able to break into the natural, get into the mineral lines, into the main base, into the natural, and then his main army reinforced to hit the 3rd and 4th. And we saw every base was under fire, every base was flashing red, and Mana couldn't keep up against that. He was, again, out of position, caught with his pants down, everything fell around him. GG. GG, well played. Whew. So impressive comeback there from Rogue, and now we have the 2v2 rematch. Up next, it is going to be Clem joined by Mana and Rogue joined by Bunny as we get into our next game. Let's go. We're getting to game number 6. Go. Spawning in the top right hand corner here of Gem Garden, we do have our red team. We have our red team. We have for Team Liquid, we have the French Terran, we have the Polish Protoss, we have Clem and Mana for Team Liquid. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the blue Terran, we have the teal Zerg, we have Rogue and Bunny for Team Falcons. Here we go. And again, this is going to be a rematch. If you were here previously, you would have seen both Bunny and Rogue shut down actually early on. Mana and Clem, they went for a double gate opener and a 2-Rax Reaper opener, which I will say didn't really achieve too much damage, but the follow-up, they went into Glaive Adepts, they went into a 4-Rax follow-up with Stim, basically 2 base all-ins, and they did indeed cripple Bunny and Rogue. Bunny and Rogue, they were crippled early on and that had a really hard time actually recovering from that. We saw that Rogue, he was going into Mass Muta, Bunny was going into Mech, but because of all the damage that was being sustained, they never expanded. They were stuck on 2 bases. They were stuck on 2 bases as Clem and Mana were getting 4th expansions. It was crazy. In the end, they were forced into an all-in, and both Clem and Mana were able to shut them down. But this time we have different openers. This time we have a standard opener out of Clem, not going 2-Rax Reaper, and Mana still does open up 2-gate. So 2-gate opener out of Mana twice in a row now. Clem going for something more standard. Oh no, it's the same build, but it's hidden. It's the same build, but it's going to be hidden. It's going to be further back. So 2-Rax Reaper out of Clem. Okay, let's go. And now the hope is that Rogue is being greedy again. We can see Hatch, Gas, Pool, standard opener out of Rogue. So the initial aggression shouldn't really get much done. The initial aggression from Team Liquid, I mean. We mentioned earlier that it has been very common to see Rogue in 2v2 be hyper greedy and rush into a 3rd hatchery before Pool and before Gas. But not this time. And again, that's what Mana and Clem are trying to hard counter, as it's worked before. And they're hoping that, okay, maybe Rogue would play that style in game 2 the second time around. Oh, sorry. I assume this was 2-Rax Reaper 3. We have a 3rd Raxi on the right-hand side as well. So, so 3-Rax Reaper out of Clem. This is even more committed than last time. So Clem, he doubles down. Massing up those Reapers. Mana going for the proxy robo across the map. 1 base all-ins. All right, so 1 base all-in this time. Clem and Mana being more aggressive than previously. They're committing to their all-ins early on. And we'll see if they can get on top of the Queen. Reaper goes down. Yeah, likewise, the Queen should fall. No transfuse. Nice pickup. Yeah, Queen goes down. Hellion as well. We're getting out of hand here. As there's only 1 Queen left, the boys are being pulled, but the Queen, oh no, the Queen is so low. One alas, 1 more shot. Queen falls. That's 2 Queen kills, and Rogue has nothing left. Rogue, he's down to a couple of boys. Lost all the Queens. Rogue is droning? Oh god. Rogue, he skip Lings. He's been droning up this entire time. The greed was too much. Rogue is going for the Roach Warren, but alas, the natural has been broken. Drones are going down. We have another Queen off of creep. Nice kiting here by Clem. Locks the Reapers in. Oh, but they're still so mobile. Yeah, delays the CC. And remember, behind this proxy robot, behind this immortals are on the way. Remember, this has been an all-in. We're still committing. And this is game-ending damage. Game-ending damage, papi. GG gets called. And with that, we are tying things up once again. Papi. Picking up the final SCVs. Yo, Bonnie doesn't want to tap out. There it is. GG gets called. The smudge was real, and Mana and Clem tie things up for Team Liquid. GG. GG, well played. We are tied up 3-3. Oh my god. As the back and forth does continue. And again, we saw Clem and Mana kind of like hide their build here, making it look similar, but this time Clem did go up to 3 Maxes. We saw that Mana, he went 2 gate opener, 2 gate into a proxy robot, into a proxy 3rd gateway as well to reinforce even faster across the map, hyper aggression. And we saw that Rogue was cutting corners. He didn't go for a fast 3rd base, not before his spawning pool, but he did skip links. He made 2 queens and was doing nothing but droning, so he had no support for his army. Likewise, we saw that Bunny, he had to make a defense on his own instead, trying to keep up, trying to support those queens, but they were overwhelmed. GG, well played. With that, we have tied things up, and now we are here to find out who will take a lead in the series. Up next, it's going to be another rematch between Clem and Bunny. Oh boy. So Clem and Bunny are going to be facing off this time on Andromeda. If you were here earlier, Clem, he was able to bring down Bunny in their first game on Ruby Rock. It was hyper aggression. Clem was going in a 4-gate Blink Stalker, and I would say that Clem, he failed to break Bunny, but Bunny, he felt that he took enough damage where he felt the need to go for a 2-base all-in. So Bunny, he pulled the boys, went for a 2-base all-in, and he got completely shut down. And now we have the rematch. This morning in the bottom corner of Andromeda, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran for Team Falcons. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player. We have the French Protoss for Team Liquid. It is Clem. Also, you're an animal, Pecoeta. You're an animal. Hi. Here we go. As we are going to be opening up, and welcome one and all to Andromeda. Andromeda, I would say, is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool. It is relatively large as maps go, but what is this map? It's wide. It's wide. There are a lot of bases off towards the left and right hand side. A lot of bases, a lot of space as well. But to be honest, a lot of this area is not really used because of how small the map, or how short the rush distance is from 3rd base to 3rd base. From 3rd to 3rd, it is very short. Moving out through the center of the map. Now there are some side blockers, but there's also some SimCity here as well, so it can be very difficult to engage and slow down an army. We have seen a lot of successful 3-base play. A lot of successful aggression on Andromeda. As Bunny does expand. Economic opener out of Bunny, going rack expand. Meanwhile, Clem back at home, going for his tech of choice once Cybercore is done. We will get there. As Reaper has arrived, it does poke in. We have a tech of choice. Twilight Council open out of Clem. Again, Clem doesn't really want to deviate into Stargate play. No shot, he goes 4-gate Blink 2 games in a row, right? Like, no shot. I mean, it's on the table. It's not a bad map for it, to be honest. Are going to be opening up. Clem threatening a shade. Behind this, a 1-1-1 follow-up here out of Bunny. Nothing crazy. We're slowly settling in, setting up for a Widowmine drop. And really, we're just keeping an eye on Clem to see how many gateways he invests into. How many gates? So we have our Robo, I believe, 3 gate. Sorry, 2. Okay, 2 gate blink into a third base. Very greedy build here by Clem. Being much more economic this time. And this should be prompting Bunny. Bunny, he sees the timing of the third base. He knows that his opponent's cutting corners. And we'll see if Bunny can punish. See if he can punish. Mirror, would you engage ahead of time? Hellion Reaper getting called out. Widowmine drop is making its way across the map. Widowmine drop alongside the Raven harass as well. Raven is also on the way. And we'll see if Clem can keep up. As the Widowmines, they do drop in. Yeah, boost into the mineral line. Boys are being pulled, and ooh, does get one of the Widowmines. Just barely. Kills one. Oh! Ooh, kills the other as well. Very clean cleanup here. Clem doesn't lose a single probe. Against Widowmine drops, you at least lose 1 each to the Widowmine, but no. Clem, he will lose nothing. Oh boy. So very clean defense. Clem, he moves out. Bunny back at home, getting to his bio follow-up. Stim, combat shields. Clem, he has gained map control. Now, Clem, he shouldn't really be pushing in, but he should be containing the Terran while he techs up. We're getting to charge, +1. Storm is on the horizon as well. Clem, he just has to buy time to get into Storm. Buying time. No shot, he goes to Stim. There's too much in position. Yeah, the tank, the Marines. Oh, he's going for it. This is a bold move. Yeah, he cannot get Stim. Takes off a Marine. Bleeds out a Stalker. Gets 2 Marines for a Stalker. I would say better trade for Bunny. It's a little bit too ambitious for Clem. Bunny does move out, pushing to the center. The upgrades are about to finish. And Clem, he still needs a couple more seconds here for Storm. He's not ready yet. Yeah, Clem, he needs more time. Behind us, just rallying everything we can. Bunny just head towards the third base. And Storm, it does barely finish up. How many High Templar? 4. So 4 Templar. The Storms, they need to connect. As tanks are moving in, getting within range of the gas geysers. And brings down 1. Now going for the other. Gets a Stalker. Nice pickup. And again, the spread here is solid as well. Even if Storm lands, they're not going to be ideal. Clem, he commits into the concave. Storms a crazy army, but yeah, with that, Bunny's pushing in. Bunny's going for the kill. Ooh! Avoids a storm. There's 1 storm remaining. Again, 1 storm left. Morphing in a couple of High Templar. Morphing in Archons, actually. Nice Zealot run by. Plays the CC. Nice counterattack. Archons move in. Storm does land. Summer goes back through the storm. Okay. Impressive fight here by Clem. Very impressive. Base at the mine shots. Getting on top of the tanks. Prism has arrived as well. Gets one. One tank left. Oh no! Doesn't save the Templar. Yeah, a little bit too slow there. Too slow to save it, but with the Zealots, they do catch reinforcements this entire time. They've been catching reinforcements, picking up more Marines, more Marauders, and Clem, he cleans up the army, cleans up the tank, and Clem does hold. Oof. As boys are being pulled to fight Zealots. Clem is counterattacking. He wants that CC. It does catch fire. Can he kill? Oh no! Can he kill the CC? Oh, still on fire. Going for the SCV. Yeah, the boys are here to repair. And they will barely repair in time. You know what? With good enough control. Clem zoning away. That's where the Bio Army. Another storm has arrived. Bunny's in trouble here. And Clem is doing a nice EP. Doesn't quite land though. Yeah, Storm still comes in. Brutal Storm. Oh no! Brutal Storm of the Rim. The Bio Army melts. GG gets called. And Clem, he will take a lead for Team Liquid. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Very patient player to Clem. Very, very patient. Things were looking dire, right? Like Bunny, he was pushing into the third base. He was taking down the gases, taking down the pylons, denying mining as well. It was a nice position for Bunny. But the run by, the counterattack, the Zealot counterattack was cutting off reinforcements, was able to delay the CC, killing SCVs, and also distracting Bunny as well. It was a big moment for Clem to go for the counterattack. Likewise, he bought enough time for what? For the Immortals. He bought enough time for the War Prism, for 2 Immortals, and now he had an answer to those tanks. He was able to focus down the tanks, land the storms well enough, and break out and snowball out of control. Alas, Bunny was quite committed here to his push, to his 2-base move out, to his 2-base push, and alas, he failed to break the third. GG. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, Clem, he does take the game, and we're still not on match point. We still got plenty more games to go. He's like, true. As with that, we're getting into game number 8 here. We'll see if Team Liquid can extend their lead. We'll see if Team Falcons can tie things up once again, as we're going to be loading into 10,000 feet. Up next, Cure versus Solar. Let's go. Loading into the smallest map in the map pool. Oh boy. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran for Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg for Team Falcons. It is a Solar. Here we go. So we are going to be opening up, and welcome one on to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Short rushes by ground. Aggression is heavily favored here on 10,000 feet as well, and we'll see how aggressive our players plan on being. Last time we saw Cure, he was up against Rogue on Mothership, and Cure, he attempted to turtle up and get into mech, but as he mentioned on Mothership, it is difficult to turtle on that map. The fringe bases were exposed. Cure, he was spread thin, and Cure did lose control of his bases, lost control of his army, lost control of the game, and Rogue was able to shut him down. Now here against Solar on a smaller map, we'll see how Cure approaches this. Now, I'm not opposed to playing mech here. It's a bit of a different dynamic, but your initial main, natural, third, fourth, even fifth base setup is much more secure than on Mothership. The attack paths are much more limited, is what I will say, especially if we do decide to expand towards the left-hand side and actually not take that triangular third base initially. There are ways to abuse this, but again, if Cure really wanted to, he could be more defensive here. We'll see. Meanwhile, from the side of the Zerg player, as Solus going for that triangular third base, because of the shorter rush distance and because of the high ground, especially outside of this third, 8 ranks is kind of hit very hard here on 10,000 feet, and we'll see if Cure invests and commits into that. I want to say the last time we saw Cure on this map, he did go for the 8 ranks, but I might be confusing him with Beyond. seen a lot of Beyond and Cure on this map. For now, standard opener. Does go for the standard start. It does move out. Yo, shout out to Killer Smile in the chat. God, happy God. This is a replay cost. And for this event, for the entirety of the Crank Gatherers event, it's been purely TLMC 21 maps. That's been really cool to see. Even the TLMC team maps as well. For the 2v2s. Behind this, Cure going for his third CC. Is there a finals of this? This is the lower bracket finals. This is the lower bracket finals. We'll be casting the grand finals after this. When I say after this, I mean at a later date. Today is only the lower bracket finals. The grand finals, I believe we are scheduled to cast on Wednesday. Just as a heads up. Meanwhile, we do see Solar going for his own Roach Warren. It makes sense on these smaller maps to play Roach is very safe, so a very safe approach here by Solar. Getting into Roaches. Of course, he can turn this into a more aggressive build as well. We'll keep an eye on his droning and on his saturation. But for now, he's walling up at his natural, securing himself on 3 bases. And Cure is going 3cc. Third CC before Starport. Economic build here by Cure. Does he play mech again? I do think that it would be more successful here than on Mothership. We'll see. As I'm sure Solo was watching that last game as well. Roach production has begun, just getting 5 roaches. Uh-oh, Hyperflight Rotors on the way. I mentioned earlier that typically when we see a third CC before Starport into Hyperflight Rotors, it does scream mech, and we did see this on Mothership as well, so it looks like a mech build. We're expecting a factory and add-on swap. Hello. Never mind. Never mind. We do go for the add-on swap, but off of the reactor, bioplay. So reactor Banshee into bioplay this time, not mech. So I appreciate that we're getting some variety out of Cure. You know, Solar taking up into his lair. Let's go. Spirit is being active. It's rotating. Roaches are revealed, of course. Cure is aware. So far, it doesn't find a way in. Still looking for damage. Does delay the fourth base. Not bad. Fourth base is denied. Advances to get into the main base, and it looks like they will scout. They will confirm the infestation pit. So they confirm that Solar is taking up even further. He's droning. He's trying to expand. He's not going for a Roach like 3 base all in or anything like that. We're getting into a longer game. And we can even switch into melee upgrades. Ooh, as soon as they get in, the Hellions, they do bust in. The points being pulled away. Drones are going to get roasted. Oh, that's going to be 8 drones going down. Ah, no, they line up. The drones do line up. Nice positioning here with the Queens. Queens, they do wall off, but that's still going to be 13 drone kills. Ay, that should not have happened. Brutal damage. And Cure takes a lead. Cure is taking a lead here. Hive is on the way. Baneless as well. We did mention that this is going to be for a Ling Bane Roach Ravager. So far, nice damage here by Cure. Cure is building up back at home. Now, Cure, he isn't going for any kind of immediate push. Thankfully for him as well, as we do have some safety infestors on the way for Solar, for fungal growths. Cure is just going for drop play. He's building up back at home on 3 bases, a second factory, gases, which means he's going for a 4th CC as well. So just a standard setup here by Cure, building up into a longer game. Just macroing up, doing the best he can to deny creep, to harass, pick up some workers, and keep Solar busy. He's tempted. Gets the tumor. Tumor goes down, but oh, he does get punished for it. Yeah, it was a bit of a bait. Blackbear's Banshee does overextend. Throws away one of the Banshees, and we do see that Solar, he is going into from Roaches into Ultra Tech. I mean, this is a very common style that we've been seeing for the past almost year, the past couple of months. I say couple, it's been like 7 months? 6, 7? And again, the big power spike for Solar is going to be the Ultras. We'll see if we can get there. Working towards that Ultra Tech. Cure back at home, still just building up. There's a window in time where you can try to break the Zerg player before they get their Ultras up and running, but Cure, he's not really being too aggressive here. So getting his 4th base. Solar, he's maxed out. Ever since Dream like Dallas? Yes. Ever since Dallas. Has been meta. Getting drilling in. Ooh, Wiles, they don't quite connect. And Cure, he can actually deny mining here at the center expansion. Tanks do siege. Mining gets denied. Oof. And Solar can't quite engage. Same time, Solar is at least keeping up with the drop play. The expansion is going to go down. Nice pick off here by Cure. Oh. Sniping 2 more Ravagers as well. Jesus. Sniping 2 more Ravagers. And Solar going for a Spire. Taking up into Corruptors. They're run by a shutdown. Now, thankfully, we do see that Cure, he isn't really able to threaten too many other bases here. He's a little bit too far back. Ultras, they try to rush in. Nice spread here from Cure. Yeah, he spreads well. Shuts down the Lings, chases back the Ultras. And behind this, we should soon be seeing the... Oh, there it is, the Academy. The Academy is done. A Ghost production should be on the horizon to deal with these Ultras. Cure is still looking very comfortable. But he doesn't have any ghosts yet. Nice rotation. Solar's out of position. Solar, he overreacts here to the drop. The Ultras, they're nowhere they need to be. We're just going for the counterattack? Okay, he's just going for the counterattack instead. So top rights will go down. Solar's pushing in towards the bases. And we'll see if this is worth it, because Solar, he's losing 11 drones and the expansion. Solar's moving in. We'll deny these CC. Never mind. There are reinforcements back at home. Solar, he's deflected. And Solar, he will lose 2 bases. He lost 2 bases, lost a mineral line as well. Didn't do any counter damage. He's expanding instead of the left-hand side, and Cure can just rotate. Yeah, he should just rotate over. There's no reason to push up this ramp into this more entrenched position. Just has to rotate. And head towards the left-hand side. Solar, he has to be careful. Tanks are pre-sieged. The main army gets spotted. Oh, once again, does catch out the drop. Yeah, Kieran not paying attention. Massive Bailey connections. Nice trade out of Solar. The ghosts are finally on the way. Ben versus Ben, team versus team. Oof, yeah, Solar here runs into the army, bleeds out more ultras. The base is going to go down. Here again, rotating towards that left-hand side. Setting up. We have some decent creep at least to slow him down. Some decent creep. No Vipers. No Vipers. There are 2 Infestors. There's no Microbial Shroud. So just relying on Fungals. Fungals and the Ultras. And to be fair, it's a lot of Ultras. 10 Ultras are moving in. Where are the ghosts? Where are the ghosts? Ghosts are lagging behind. First wave of tanks going to be going down. Snipe State. Ooh. Do punish. But a bit of a back and forth trade. Again, it was a late reaction with those ghosts. That was 3 tanks falling. But yes, for those who are curious, this is a best of 13. Best of 13. Oh. It does land. Same time, Solo going for a massive counterattack. We can see Cure out of position. Has to evacuate. Nice snipes. Snipes, they still do punish. And Cure, he does have defenses back at home. And sure, he will lose his base, but not the most important expansion yet here for Cure. Oh. He has a nice fungal with the ghost, despite that. Oh, down to 3 ultras, down to 2. Another fungal. The chain fungals locks down the ghost just barely. But we have reinforcements. Reinforcements, they're moving in. They're a little bit late though. Kira trying to rotate over. Solar does take the fight. But these have been expensive losses. Remember, Solar at one point he had 10 ultras, now down to 2. 2 ultras left. 2 more on the way. Here he can keep pushing. The Infestors, they have no fungals. Oh, sorry, there's one. There's one fungal. He needs more time. Solar, he needs more time. He has no minerals. He's broke. EMPs, they pop up. Oh. There's still 1 fungal left. Nice thing run by. SMGs are going down. EMP lands, 0 fungals. And this base should fall. Yeah, the expansion should go down here. Ultras, they try to engage. The Bailings do threaten. Curie just stumbles upon another base. Let's bring it down. Solar, he still needs more time. Broodlord production has begun. He's got 5 broods on the way. That can help. There aren't that. I was gonna say there aren't that many ghosts. It's soon to be 10. 10 ghosts. Let's get more snipes. Down goes the expansion. Solar, he just can't maintain these bases, and that's why he can't max out. He's been struggling to max out. Banes are denied. Again, the Sun Cure is in position. Denies top right. Another hatchery goes down. Curious bleeding out a lot of SCVs. 7 more SCVs going down. But again, the win condition here for Cure has just been to knock down the bases, knock down the expansions time and time again, and the Broodlords, they finally have arrived. 6 Broodlords. Up against 10 Ghosts. So far, nice damage here. 15 SCV kills. Leading towards the left-hand side as well. Cure is losing so many workers. It's being pulled apart. 19 SCVs going down. Another Ling run by. 20 SCVs even. Now, thankfully, Cure does have a bank to work with. Ooh. I'll get out of here. The Liberators. Yeah, Liberators are being thrown away. Units that were just left on their own. So another Liberator. That was what? 3 Libs? 1 tank. Every unit counts here. Speaking of those, it makes up for it. Takes down some of the Ultras. But can he get under these Broodlords? Viking production has begun. We have some Thors on the way as well. Cure, he's refining his army. Solar, he finally gets another expansion. He's getting his 6th base. And this is still anyone's game. I still think I do prefer Cure's composition. It has potential to pop off. But now Sol has been slowly building up his Infestor account. He's regenerated all that energy. Got a decent Broodlord army as well. And more importantly, he's been crippling the economy, right? These fringe bases have been, they've just been brutalized here. So many SCV kills. And Cure's just been stuck rebuilding those workers. Oh. Speaking of, another massive Ling run by. Planetary's on its own, gonna get surrounded. And the Liberator on its own can't do anything here. The attack rate is too low. The base goes down. The mineral line as well. At the same time, Curie denies mining in the center. So we have a bit of a back and forth here. Oh. Guess the Infestor. One Infestor goes down. Sola, he's double expanding on the right-hand side and left. Double expand. And Sola, he may have done it here. Secure, he needs another base. He needs an economy, more importantly. He needs SCVs. And Cure was doing so well earlier. So well until the Broodlords arrived. Until the Broodlords hit. Followed by the run-bys. Cure, I believe he has not scouted. Yeah, he's not aware. We have some fully mining bases. Keep hitting the right hand side. Oh. Diving on the Thors. Does dive in. We get some EMPs up, but the Fungal still did land. Shuts down all the Ultras. But once again, what about the Broodlords? They get sniped. There's what, one left? One Broodlord left, okay. Here comes the counterattack. This base should go down. We'll lose the mineral line as well. War is done in 5 seconds. Ah. And Solar, he does have 2 fresh bases up and running here, but again, his gas is still quite limited, or his income in general. He's only got 1 Broodlord. His main army here is lacking. He has 12 Corruptors. And Solar coming from behind, coming for the surround. Now he at least attempts to. And massive fungal on the army. The chain fungal here on the Ghost. But is there a follow-up? Yeah, Ghost, they just tank the fungals. Infestors get shut down. Cure can keep pushing. The supply is misleading here just because so much supply is in this Corruptor, right? There's so much supply in Corruptors. Oh. Yeah, the Ultra does give chase. Gets shut down. Solar, he can't afford any Broodlords. But he does hold. Does hold on. Mining is being denied. You can see just how chaotic of a game this has been. Because this map, the bases are so exposed. Like, both players have been just taking blows. It's been very messy. With Solar losing mineral lines, Cure losing mineral lines. I appreciate it. It just favors aggression in such a way that everyone's just getting messy. Like, none of these bases are safe back. Getting 8 more drones. Nicely done. And the Broodlord Nation attacked. I mean, they did until there weren't any left. There's still only just 1 Broodlord. Only 1. Oh my god. Board Banes. Cure rushing forward. Solar, he's kind of devolved into purely Ling Bane composition. He has 1 Ultra, 1 Brood. Sorry, the Brood got sniped. So 1 Ultra, 1 Viper, 0 Infestors, and mainly Ling Bane. Against this. In a head-on fight, we have to favor Cure. Ling Bane does try to rush in. Nice lightning clouds. We have the Ultra pushing forward as well. And can he get on top of the Ghost? Up. He's going for it, but alas, there's a cloak. Detection's available. Ghost to kite back. And they're gonna be surrounded there. They're gonna get surrounded here. Barely the Ghosts are falling. Oh. Yeah, Overseer is a little bit too far away. 4 Ghosts to survive. Solar, he trades. Another planetary. Planetary goes down. I believe the Viper survived. Yeah, the Viper did survive. The Ultra as well. Takes down the expansion. It's still very messy, still very close. Still a lot of army supply here in the Corruptors. And we're floating over. Desperate for expansions. Oh, there's 1 Infestor on the way. Let's go. It's going to be 1 Infestor. With 1 well-placed Fungal, Solar, he can end it. A well-placed Fungal. He can end it back. So he rotates once again. Oh. Nice mining. And we're both still just trying to build up. It's getting very scrappy. Very scrappy. Solo committing here to a massive link counterattack. Cure, he is out of position. Lings are putting in. Gets one of the tanks. Nice save there by Cure. Saves the tank attack. Oh no, no lift. Oh, no lift. Orbital goes down. And Lings, they get two tanks. Two tanks go down. The CC as well. Pushing in towards the main. Oof. Not much less mules available. Cure, he's going to be down to a one base economy. Speaking of, Solar rallying in. Solar, he can still sustain himself, still has more of an economy. He's going in once again. Oh. Do you think it's too brutal that the tanks can hit the hatchery on the backwards base? For me, like, I'm a little bit more lenient on that because it's meant to be an aggressive map and it's meant to be a base that's difficult to take. As we saw here, this hatchery did go down, I want to say once so far, to like tank push and tank aggression. But like Solar's taking this, he took the space later on anyway. I don't think I have strong feelings about it necessarily. It is obviously like a really strong like position here for tank pushes, that is true. But like there are also ways to like surround and engage and take like other fringe bases. I don't think I have a strong stance on that necessarily. Like I'm okay with it just because on this map like it's meant to be hard to expand, like it's right, like but if you've seen more games where we've had like tank pushes that break the space and things snowball out of control and the Zerg player fails and struggles to actually take more bases and progress from there, like if we've been seeing a lot of that, then I can see the rationale for that for sure. I don't think I've seen enough to like confirm. But like we've been seeing like a bunch of 8 Raxes, like the space goes down, you just keep pushing in and like just get out of hand, then like I could understand. Feels a bit disproportionate because only one race has tank. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like it's only like impacting like games with Terran here, of course. Obviously, it's less important in TVP just because tanks fall off in the mid game, so it's less of a issue there. So it's mainly for TVC. As we have remaxed. I don't know how we got here, but we have both remaxed, papi. Ay ay ay. Let's go. We've built back up. Okay, what do we have? We remaxed, but with what? Once again, Solar, he only has 1 Infestor and 1 Viper. Like the limited spellcasters is a concern. It's very link heavy. It's a very cheap army here, as gas has been very limited for Solar. So he's got what, over 100 lings. He's got 132 lings and only like a couple of ultras. So it's very Link heavy. Jesus. Meanwhile, Cure, he's been refining his army into a heavy tank Ghost Liberator composition. Like tech-wise, once again, I'm favoring Cure's composition here, but we'll see how they do engage. There's also a world where he's caught out of position and spread a little bit too thin, and maybe there's an opening, but right now, like, how do you move into this? Jesus. The Liberator's a lot of tanks. Oh. Base goes down, and we can see Cure go for the slow push. Now, what I mentioned here, how do you push into this? Well, ideally, the Terran is moving forward, and they expose themselves by opening up and by entering some of the more open areas of the map. Lane main towards bottom left. Takes on a base. Oh, gets into the mineral line. That mineral line goes down. And again, Cure is so entrenched here, where towards the left-hand side, he's more open. He's more exposed. Focusing his attention on getting a fresh mining base. More or less fresh. As we're mining out. Like, the map is slowly mining out. So Cure, he's fighting for center right. He's abandoning bottom left, which means Solar could take the space. But again, this expansion is more valuable, for sure. Like there's more resources here in minerals and gas. Likewise, this area is more open. And so he can finally afford Broodlords again. Okay. 4 Broodlords on the way. So like he's getting there. What's the Viking out looking like? 0. So 0 Vikings. Once again, the anti-air here is very limited. We have ghosts, yes, but no Thors, or I should say Thor production's begun. Once again. Making 3 Thors at a time. Broodlords reveal themselves. They force friendly fire. Nice up up. Gets 2. 2 Broodlords go down. Ling Bane does crash in. Nice blinding clouds. And he's going for the ghost. Yeah, once again, diving on the ghost. They do barely get away. Ghost, they escape. Cleans up the ultras. Oh, the fungals. Too late. Yeah, too late though. Cheeky moves with the infestor. Fungs are too late, and Curie takes the fight. He takes the fight. Does force us back. We have more Ling reinforcements on the way. Cure, he will lose the base though. Yeah, he will lose the expansion. Cure, he's rallying over. It's a kill in the CC. Now, what's concerning to me here is that Sola, he lost the base and he didn't take bottom left. Like, this is still another base that's potentially, like, Cure's. So Cure, he has 2 expansions. He has center right and bottom left. Like, potential expansions. Solar, this is it. Like, this is all his mining. Solar, he's broke. Trying to dive in. Yeah, GG gets called. Solar, he has nothing left. And Cure, almost fully mined out, by the way. Cure, he does hold, he does defend. And Cure, he'll extend the lead for Team Liquid. GG. Whew. Hi. Yeah, GG, well played. Again, Solar, he had no money. He had no resources. He had nothing left here in the tank. We saw he was committed. He tried to break through. Again, there was a lot of potential with that flanking infestor. Unfortunately, it was just too little too late. Like, it came down to some of the minute details of those engagements. As we mentioned, Solar had a very cheap army. Cure, he had a lot more potential, a lot more tech heavy with the ghosts, with tanks, with liberators. Took the fight in the end and was able to maintain himself just barely. GG, well played. Whew, Cure does take the game, and with that, we're now getting in. Well, now we have, I believe we have wrapped up the second third of the broadcast. Let us head on over here and catch up on the matches so far. Bam, there it is. There it is. So we do have Team Liquid with a lead, with a 5-3 lead over Team Falcons. They have extended the lead. Now, as a reminder, what is this? This is a best of 13. Best of 13. What does that mean? First to 7. So Team Liquid 2 more games. They need to win 2 more games to claim the series. Otherwise, Team Falcons, they have some room here. They have some games to recover. Now, we just had a refresh earlier with 4 extra sets, with 4 extra maps. Now we're getting ready for our next refresh for our next 4 games. Now, I did mention this before. I do have to hold on. How do I do this? How can I do this? God, that's just I can't fit it all. Like interact. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we can't fit it all on screen, but there we go. We're gonna scroll down a little bit here. We're gonna scroll down, and as you can see, we have our next set of maps. We have Gem Garden. Ooh, the starting map is gonna be a 2v2. We have Gem Garden, we have Ruby Rock, we have Andromeda, Mothership, and the Old Republic as a potential ace match. Oh boy. So we're gonna have another roster refresh. So now we can replenish that roster, and we can field everyone once again. One more time here towards the end of the broadcast, and again we have the potential ace match revive on Old Republic. Oh boy. Team Liquid, they do have a lead, but Team Falcons, they can recover. Here. Again, Rogue has been carrying quite a bit. We have Rogue with his 2 wins against Kieran Mana. Solar took the win against Mana earlier as well, but the pressure is on, especially in the 2v2. We're going to be going on a very short break. When we come back, we'll have our team captains revealing that final lineup for the final set of games. We'll see you soon as we conclude this best of 13. See you soon, Pappy. See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final third of the broadcast, the end of the broadcast here for this best of 13 lower bracket finals between Team Liquid and Team Falcons. We've had some intense games so far, and how are we going to conclude this Team League match? Let's go. Let us head on over here to the bracket, to the lineups. Let's see how we end things. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. Also, don't get baited in the chat, papi, don't get baited. I see Kindle talking about lack of dead space on certain maps. I mean, even admitted themselves that there are still maps that do have some dead space, that do allow for doom drops as well. There are maps that don't, as said, with like Incorporeal, like Last Fantasy, but by no means is that like the norm on every map, I should say. I do agree that too much dead space is deterred, but I mean, the idea of a map pool is that we do have some variety. Some maps that do incorporate that, other maps that don't. We still do see drop play and use made of dead space during these tournaments and during these matches, during live pro gameplay. Is still seen. But here we go. We have the final lineups. Here. Who's going to be fielded? Let's go. This is when we do something crazy with the 2v2s. Bam. Okay. Oh, okay. Who do we have here? We have Clem and Mana, of course. So the 2v2s, I mean, that was going to be a given. Clem and Mana, they're going to be stepping into the ring against Rogue and Bunny. So far in the 2v2s, Clem and Mana have been able to shut them down twice now. Will they do it again? Will Rogue and Bunny get their revenge? Meanwhile, we have Ruby Rock. We have a TVT between Cure and Bunny. Cure, he has some of the best TVT in the world. So I'm going to be leaning towards Cure there. Bunny, will see how he can hold his own against Cure on Ruby Rock, especially considering this is one of the more aggressive maps. Meanwhile, we have Clem and Rogue on Andromeda. Ooh, that's a juicy series. Finally, a TVZ between Clem and Rogue. I'll be honest, personally, I'm a little bit afraid we won't get there. With the track record of the 2v2 and with Cure's track record in TVT as well, remember, Team Liquid, they need to win 2 games. 2 games is all they need, and I'm a little bit concerned. I mean, based on these lineups, there's a high chance that they can take him. There's a lot of pressure on Rogue and Bunny to bring it back here, though, and to give Team Falcons a chance to recover, to make it through in this Team League match. And we have Mana versus Solar on Mothership at the end of the series, leading into, of course, the Old Republic as the potential ace match. Let's go. Let us go. We're jumping into game number 9. Game number 9 here is going to be the 2v2 once again. We are loading into Gem Garden. Let's go. Oh, I need some time to set up, actually. Clem and Mana, Rogue and Bunny, and then we have Cure, then we have Clem, and then we have Mana. So I'm just writing down the trying to type up the ladder. So here we go. Spawning in the top left hand corner of Gem Garden, we have our red team. We have the red Protoss, we have the orange Terran, we have Clem, we have Mana, we have Team Liquid. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have their opponents. The pressure is on. We have the South Korean Terran, the South Korean Zerg player. We have Rogue and Bunny. We have Team Falcons. Whew. Let's go. Let us go. As I very quickly try to set things up. Clem, Mana, Rogue, Bunny. Beautiful. I don't think I updated the title for the previous game, so I do apologize. But here we go. But yes, shout out to Killer Smile and all the other map makers that do stop by every now and then. It's been a very intense period, especially with the TLMC, especially with the upcoming map pool as well. Again, the new map pool should be dropping soon, TM, coming into the beginning of November. So we should be getting it soon. Shout out to Wax putting in a lot of work. And again, I really do appreciate when Crank and when other tournament organizers also showcase these maps as well, to get as much testing as possible, to get as much eyes on the new maps, to see, you know, what works, what doesn't work, what we should be concerned by, and what maybe isn't a concern moving forward into the new map pool. So I do appreciate it. Esther Crank. My one critique about the map pool used for this tournament, if you noticed, is that there's only one 2v2 map. There's only one 2v2 map, so we just keep getting Gem Garden over and over and over again. It would have been nice if we had a little bit of variety and we had a second map as well for the 2v2s. It would have been nice. Smurge, pappy, smurge. That's at least my one critique. And oh, true, and also having 9 maps. I believe the map pool for this tournament is only 7. I think there's only 7 maps. Would have been nice if we had a full set of 9. For now, though. For now, we're doing it again. I'm getting deja vu. 3 ranks Reaper. 3 ranks Reaper out of Clem. 2 gate opener out of Mana. Hyper aggression out of a Team Liquid. And again, we saw this in their previous game. We saw this in the previous game. Same build. Same build 2 games in a row. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have a hatch gas pool opener out of Rogue. Likewise, we do have a double gas opener out of Bunny. Bunny playing safe. Bunny is playing safe, going for a delayed CC on the high ground. Very safe play, checking his vision. Bunny, he does see the 2 gate opener. They get an idea of what's going on. But who's exposed? The Zerg. Like Rogue, he's here on the low ground. Second Queen does come down, and we'll see if a Rogue can, or if we can defend Rogue's natural. I say we because it's on Bunny here to help out. It's on Bunny to support. Queens are under fire. More Reaper Hellions on the way for Bunny. Needs a little bit more time. Oof. As Reaper does fall. Things for now, they are going to be deterred. And we'll see if Clem turns this into a 2-base all-in again. Remember, the follow-up from here was going for a CC into a 4-rack setup into an early sim timing. That's what we saw last time. Meanwhile, that is a very fast... Oh my god, that's a 3-minute layer. Sorry, 320 layer timing. Lings, they come in for the surround. Oh my god, they do get themselves some of the Reapers. Yeah, Reapers are zoned away. The Queens do defend. And with that, Team Falcons, they hold. Team Falcons are holding on. The Queens are alive this time. Again, it does help that Bunny to play it safe, that Bunny did go for a faster factory. So he's able to support better, and with that, they hold. Meanwhile, with the fast layer, I believe this is going to be for 2-base Muta. So 2-base Muta, late 3rd base. Meanwhile, Proxy Robo, Proxy Gateway. Again, we're going for the all-in. So 1 base all-in out of Mana, and we are expecting extra Raxes out of Clem. Yeah, there it is. There is a 4th and 5th Rax. So 5 Raxes out of Clem, and again, 3 gates and a Robo out of Mana. They're here to end the game. And Rogue, he's being greedy, investing his tech here into the lair, into the would-be Spire. Rogue is supply blocked. Ooh, brutal supply block there for Rogue. Making 4 Overlords. Yeah, the Immortal has arrived. Spine is exposed. As the Queen barely gets away. The Spine's getting up and running. He needs that Spine. It's going to be targeted down. Spine does fall. Lings are coming for the surround. They collapse on the army. Not bad. Yeah, nice surround, but better juggling here by Mana. Does pull away. They're going to be overwhelmed. They're going to be cleaned up here. The Lings, they do overwhelm. They do swarm. Whew. And Bunny and Rogue, they're holding. They're holding. They're defending. There's the Spire. Now, the Spire was delayed because they were defending on 2 bases, but and it worked out well. It did work out well. And Mana, still no expansion. Yeah, the Team Liquid boys, they were so committed here to this build, so committed to their all-in. And now suddenly, Rogue and Bunny, there's no eye control. They're able to establish themselves on 2 bases. They've gained map control. Mutas are on the way to gain even more map control. And I believe we should be seeing Mech out of our Terran player. We'll see if he throws down extra factories or extra Raxes. But if you recall, Mech has been the go-to for Bunny in 2v2s. Going for the faster 3rd CC, and there it is. Oh, actually, sorry, factory here for Clem. He himself is starting to tech up. Himself is teching up. Prism going to be zoned away. With that, the Prism barely does survive. Nice juggling here, but despite that, Lings, they can still trade well. Collapsing the Adepts, getting into the Immortals. Can he get one? Oh my god. He should get at least one. Oh, never mind. Immortals, they hold their own. They do hold their own. There's that second factory for Bunny. So again, it is going to be Mech. Once again, Muta production is underway. We're building up those Mutas. Mana, he escapes with the Immortals. Impressive. I assumed at least one of them would go down, but no. Does pull out, does get away. Mutas there hunting for the immortals. Hunting for the prism. Oh, prism goes down. Both immortals is inside. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this, Pappy. Not like this. And again, Mana, he's struggling to stabilize. There's nothing. I mean, he's going to lose the Robo. He's going to lose his tech. He has 3 gates back at home. He has Warp Gate. That's all he's got. And again, this is Clem and Mana just a little bit too heavily reliant on the same build in a series. Again, your opponents, they will adapt. And they will, and they will, and they have. Yeah, as Mana just getting bullied here. Losing more workers. Reaper towards the left-hand side as well. As Mutas, they do punish the reinforcements, punish the Marines, and Clem just sends everything across the map. I mean, the writing is on the wall here. Like, Mana, he's down and out. Clem, he rallies everything. He's going to run into a wall of tanks. Bunny's ready. Oof. And missile goes off, covers everything. And GG gets called, rooming at the final fight, and Rogue and Bunny, they do bring it back here for Team Falcons. Whew, GG. We spoke about it, but again, these next 2 games are going to be brutal, they're going to be difficult, and they've taken that first step here at recovering in this series. Rogue and Bunny, they do fight back for the first time. They take a map off of Clem and Mana, and with that, we are that much closer to tying the series up. Oh boy. GG, well played. Whew. With that, again, they do put a point on the board. And up next, what do we have? We have the TBT. We have the TBT between Bunny and Cure. As I mentioned before, the pressure is still very much so on Team Falcons. Cure, he is heavily favored when it comes to Terran versus Terran. But this also confirms that we will get Clem versus Rogue. It's going to happen. Let's go. Let's go. Will happen. Regardless of score. As we're going to be loading into Ruby Rock. Setting up the title. There we go. Whew. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran for Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran, the other South Korean Terran, the blue Terran. For Team Falcons, it is Bunny. Here we go. Whew. Gym Garden is at least an epic map. It is, it is. I would have liked to have seen some more 2v2 maps, though. Would have been nice. As we are going to be opening up. An underwear map? Oh no. Not like this. What happened to the pants, Pappy? It's catching up with the chat. Oh, 2x. Okay. We have a 2x Reaper opener here by Cure. This is designed to hard counter and to shut down a proxy. So if Bunny was going proxy 2x Reaper, then Cure could hard counter. As it stands though, Cure, he's going to have some aggressive potential here early on. We'll see what he can achieve with this. Bunny goes double gas, so Bunny will have the faster factory. Bunny should be fine. As long as he doesn't lose the first Reaper. True. Bunny has to be careful with that first Reaper. As long as he doesn't lose it, he should be able to buy enough time for his Hellion. Once the Hellion pops out, he will defend, and the game will continue from there. If Bunny had gone for something more greedy, if he had gone for a faster CC, then Bunny would be in danger. But he's fine. Or again, he should be fine. So he said, just shooting in, how does this format work? Best of 13. Best of 13 Pro League format. So in this Team League match, we do have the best of 13 constructed by purely best of ones between all these players. So we just wrapped up with a 2v2 with Mana and Clem versus Rogue and Bunny. Now we have Cure versus Bunny, and after this we do have a Clem versus Rogue. And then Mana versus Solar. Again, Team Liquid versus Team Falcons. Reapers are moving out. Hellions on the way. Cure, he may be able to delay the CC at least. Oh! Bunny shoots first. Yeah, Bunny shoots first. A better trade for Bunny. Cure has to get the hell out of here. Oh, actually, Cure. A bit of miscontrol there from Bunny. But overall, he shuts us down. Yeah, they trade 2-2. Hellion has arrived. CC will be delayed. But nothing more major than that. As Cure is expanding himself. Again, coming into this, Bunny will have the slightly better economy. And it's on Cure to be the aggressor. As he's building on more Reapers, more Hellions. Cure looking for damage. Bunny has to be so careful with his units. Oh, the Hellion! Hellion pulls away. Now the rest of you goes down. Bunny, he went for the tech lab, so he did not make a second Hellion. Ooh. So there was a small window in time here where he didn't really have much of an army, but the Cyclone has arrived, and with the help of the Cyclone, Bunny should hold on. Yeah, the Cyclone will bully this back. And the game continues. Now, as the dust settles, Bunny still has the faster expansion. It was delayed twice, that is true, but still is going to be faster. At the same time, Cure across the map getting to zone a 2-1-1 setup. Add-on swap into Raven. And Bunny, he's going for a very early tank. It was only one Cyclone into early tank production into drop lane. So Bunny's going for a move out. Also, welcome to Ruby Rock. We didn't really get to discuss it, but Ruby Rock is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool. The third base specifically is much more exposed, much more accessible. And Bunny does move out. Bunny does move out, trying to dive on the army. His army is a little bit disjointed though. Yeah, Bunny gets caught out. Loco on the Medivac. Medivac barely breaks the Loco on. Oh my god. Barely does hold, barely does survive. Takes the fight. But a messy engage here from Bunny. Messy back. And Cure holds. Cure, he holds on. Bunny at least does save his tank, saves the tank, and Bunny, he'll be enjoying a greater tank count here. So he has a tank lead. Bunny's up to 3 tanks against the 0 tanks of Cure. Instead, Cure going for early stim. So early stim out of Cure, scan reveals that, so is aware. Bunny's aware of the more bio-heavy composition. And Bunny still has momentum with that higher tank count. Yeah, reinforcing with Vikings. He's going to be rallying. We'll see if Bunny can break the natural. Now, to counteract the higher tank count, Cure at least has Ravens. So Ravens are available. Disable is researched. Who catches who? Spots the army. Ooh, did unload at an unfortunate time. Yeah, unfortunate. Tanks, they do siege. And Bunny, he got here. He got across the map. Moving in towards the natural. Oh. He's in danger. Oh, no, the Ravens! Ravens, they get caught out. They were going to try to go for a flank. Massive pickups here. Without these Ravens, I mean, Cure, he cannot break out. And he'll lose them both. He'll lose one. One Raven goes down. Cure is going for a desperation drop across the map. Cure, he has that much less to defend at the natural. And Bunny, he wants that final Raven. He finds it. It does find the Raven in the dead space. Cure dropping into the main. Oh, full medevac goes down. Bunny. Bunny. Shuts down the full medevac, deflects the drop. And Cure, he's in the gutter here. He's in danger. He barely has an army to stand. What does he have? He has half the tank count, 3 against 6. Down in tanks, down in Vikings. Bunny slowly pushing in. Gets a medevac. Yes, we do see Cure trying to catch reinforcements. Does get a Viking. Okay. Gets a Viking. Gets maybe a tank as well. Barely won. Nice pickoffs. Whatever he can do. Whatever he can get. Gets a Cyclone. Cyclone, 2 Vikings. 2 tanks. Very nice. Very efficient trades here from Cure. Getting another Viking. That's 3 Vikings. So 3 Vikings, 2 tanks, a Cyclone. Very opportunistic here from Cure. So far, paying off. You can see Bunny, he rallies back his reinforcements. He's scared of losing more units. That means that this army is isolated, and Cure, he could try to collapse on this. I mean, for now, the tanks, they can't really threaten anything. There's not that much or as much pressure on Cure. He scans, looking for a 3rd base. Cure's getting his own 3rd. Bunny, he should be getting his own as well. There we go. Getting his own. And Cure, he expands. And Bunny, he's losing his lead. Bunny, he was doing so much. Oh. Doing so much. Liberated into the main base. 5, 6 SCV kills. Very nice. Getting up to 7. 7 SCVs going down. Bunny has to get the hell out of here. Curie's chasing him. It does go for the dive. He wants those tanks. He gets 2. 2 tanks will go down. It cleans up all the Marines as well. Nice cleanup here by Cure. He breaks out. He breaks out. He snowballs out of control. He's pushing across the map. Again, very impressive pickoffs by Cure. Catching out the tanks, the Vikings. And again, Bunny wasn't really threatening anything with his position. Ay. And Curie's moving in. He's moving in. Stims on forward. Takes over the skies. Barely doesn't get on top of the tanks. And we're trying to force friendly fire, but alas, Curie's just going to keep on pushing. It does on siege. There's 1 tank left. Down to 1. The boys are being pulled. Pulls the boys into a siege line. GG gets called, and Cure, he does take the game. Impressive comeback here, and Cure, or I should say Team Liquid, they're on match point. GG. GG, well played, Team Liquid. They are on match point. Again, Bunny had a much stronger start here, able to shut down the medevac drop, shut down the initial aggression out of Cure as well. Snowball out of control, did have a massive tank lead. We had 6 tanks to 3, by the way. It was insane. Likewise, it was, what, 6 Vikings to 2 as well. But Cure, with his Marines, with the Marines map, he was able to break out, able to catch reinforcements. He did reset, I say reset, he was able to even up the tank count thanks to his drop play, thanks to his Marines. Deny any reinforcements and isolate Bunny. GG. GG, well played. And again, it was brutal, especially losing those Ravens. He lost the Ravens for free, essentially. Ay. But GG, well played. With that, Team Liquid, they extend their lead here, up 6-4. One more game is all that Team Liquid needs. And up next, we have Team Liquid's ace player. It's going to be Clem versus Rogue. Oh boy. Clem versus Rogue on Andromeda. No idea how Kira pulled this back after losing the drop in the Ravens, right? Like it was a shaky start there by Kira. It was like things were looking dire, but the drops, the Marines, just picking away at Bunny, and also not just that, but also Bunny not really threatening anything with his tanks, right? We saw that specifically in that position that he was sieged up on, he actually wasn't even within range of the gas geysers. He was killing a depot, but he wasn't really threatening the gases or the base itself, or even the main entrance coming out of the natural. I wasn't able to achieve much, but here we go. Here we go. We're getting to our next game and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. Oh. Bottom left-hand corner of Andromeda, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg for Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the French Terran player. We have the red Terran for Team Liquid. It is Clem. As Team Liquid, they are on match point. One more game is all they need to claim the series and to advance onto the grand finals. Uno más, papi, uno más. Again, best of 13, first to 7. First to 7 wins. As we have our hatch gas pool, standard open out of Rogue, and welcome to Andromeda. Andromeda is an interesting map. It's very wide, that is true, it's very wide, and there's a lot of area here on the left and right hand side, but alas, we often don't actually see these areas of the map come into play. We often do see a lot more aggressive builds, as the rush distance between the third and third base is very direct, is very short, and we do see a lot of 3-base play or 3-base aggression as a result of that. We saw that earlier in this series even. In the TVP between Bunny and Clem, if you recall. Rogue does go for the linear third base. Moves out for the linear third. And we'll see how Clem will approach this. This is where he does hide the drone, keeping it safe. 6 lings? Oh, okay. Rogue does invest quite heavily here into his early ling production, getting up to 6. He does delay his third quite heavily, actually. Oh! Okay. Rogue, he goes for a hidden third base here. Interesting. I mean, it is a little bit delayed, but he's on the way nonetheless. This is designed to make it look like he's going for a 2-base all-in. So Clem, he's checking. He scouts, he checks, he looks. No third base towards the left-hand side. He's checking on the right as well and confirms no third expansion. It's like, hold up. What's going on? If you're staying on 2 bases, this typically means roach play. It means that we're staying on 2 bases, pulling into gas, getting into a further tech structure. Higher chance is going to be roaches, and Clem, he's responding with a 3cc 211. Three CC 211 behind this. Meanwhile, big shout out to Bittermelon in the chats. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing to Twitch Prime for 2 months. Thank you, puppy. Thank you. Do appreciate the support. Love your work. Oh, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Do appreciate it, puppy. So ordinary, I think Clem would stomp, but Rogue is tricky, should be a good one. I mean, you're seeing that here. Like Rogue, he's trying to make it look like he's more committed than he is. He's going for the transfer, does Maynard over, and I believe Clem, he will miss the Maynard just barely. Jesus. Yeah, just barely does miss it. Once again, Clem, he checks, he sees no expansion. The drones, they barely get in. They slip away. Checking Rogue's vision, Rogue, I'm sure he notices the low Hellion count. So again, because the Hellion count is so low, that's indicative of a 211, of a 3cc 211. That's why we see a +1, or we do see the 1 EVA chamber for +1 carapace. This is the response you want against a 211. As you want your +1 carapace as quickly as possible against a heavy stim army. Once again, we're looking. Clem's like, what the hell? Clem, he's actually committing. Sorry, okay, there we go. Remember there, I didn't see the third CC. Behind this, going into double eBays, double upgrades, getting to 1-1. Extra axes as well. Clem, he will soon move out in around 30 seconds. At 5:30 is typically when the medevacs pop out and when Clem can start to move out across the map. Clem is still checking. Okay, does see the hatchery. Does see how late it is as well. And he's throwing down turrets. Oh, he believes it's gonna be it's two base muta. He thinks it's two base muta. Okay. So again, the mind games, Pappy. Again, he hasn't seen the main. He doesn't know. He's like, what is happening right now? So he's getting ready for mutas, setting up his turrets. So technically wasted resources. And likewise, he could have taken his third base long ago. He's staying on two bases that much longer, I believe, because he's afraid of an early push. So he does delay there. Now he sees, now he knows. Instantly lifts up his third CC. Late third base out of Clem. Could have taken this much earlier. He just didn't know. Didn't know what was going on. So again, it's not anything major, but it's these nice little wins here, these nice little advantages for Rogue because of the late expansion, late economy, late saturation. Clem is pushing. Clem, he wants to try to punish this in some way. He knows he needs to. Okay, so remember, stim is done. He's got stim. Pulse on Carapace is finishing up in 1 second. And Rogue, he has his Link Queen. Oh, might just going off. We need more Zerglings. Oh, as Rogue, he does overextend, throws away his Lings, like Marines are moving in, and Clem is snowballing out of control, takes out almost every single queen. That was what, 3 queens going down, brutal losses. Again, Rogue had some miscontrol. Oof. Losing another queen. Oh my god, barely not. Whew. Rogue holds. Rogue, he does hold on. He was able to get 5 SCVs across the map, some damage. Now, what's important here is that Rogue, he does lose a lot of Lings, he loses a lot of queens, but so far he has maintained his economy. The drone count is still untouched. But Clem, he's not backing up. He's not backing up. Oh. I'll say Clem and Rogue at the same time. Guess another queen, Hydras. Another move command! Oh my god. Move commands in. Bleeds out all the Hydras. Those are expensive losses for Rogue. Ay, ay, ay. And he will lose all the queens. Yeah, Rogue, he is being broken here. Brutal move command. Takes out all the queens. Gets into the mineral line. Gassy, thought it was close. It was close. Rogue, he almost held on. At the same time, Ling run by, but there are reinforcements back at him to defend. And Clemmy gets into the mineral line. He gets in, and drones are falling. Critical damage. And again, it was close. If we just had a little bit of a tighter defense here, with lane control, with the Hydras as well, then maybe Rogue holds on. But Clem is rallying. Rogue has an equivalent worker count, so economically, Rogue is behind. Clem still has momentum. Bearing in mind there are no Banelings, it's just purely Ling Hydra. And we need to build up that Hydra count. That's creep is being denied. Clem still rallying in. Oh. Rotating, checking for an expansion. Expansion that is not there. Guess the Overlord supply blocks Rogue. Rogue is supply blocked. Rogue, he does defend his natural least. Go to line connection. My shot goes off. Rogue, he's surviving. We have some infestors on the way. Oh, and Clem should not be here. He's out a couple of medevacs. Then we got to calm down. He's getting his 4th base. He can expand forward towards his opponents. He can take that center high yield base. So Clem, he can just keep up that aggression, keep up that momentum. As the rally does not stop. Oh, the Hydras are exposed. Yeah, Lings are out of position. Lings too far back. Does force some friendly fire. How many infestors? 2. Okay, we got 2 infestors. We have 2 fungals. If the fungals land, Rogue can hold on. Clem going for a drop. Going for his drop. He does expand actually towards the top side instead. Does go for the safer 4th base option. Oh, as Rogue, he is somewhat in position. Yeah, he's got his Hydras. He responds, he reacts. And Rogue, he should defend here. Yeah, he should defend. A nice fungal. Locks down the Marines. And Rogue is holding. He's holding on. Clem has been a little bit wasteful here. Throwing away drops, throwing away Marines earlier. Throwing away these Marines. Bleeding off medevacs. The game is progressing. It's still Rogue like treading water and like barely hanging on, but hey, he's amassing up a greater army. More Hydras. Hive is almost done. Gee, this is a very Hydra dense composition actually. 26 Hydras. Oh, this ramp is brutal. Clem still wedging himself into the bases. Hydra's collapsing in. They get on top of 1 tank. 1 tank goes down. Tank goes down. Mine shots. Oh, they force friendly fire. Rogue, he's holding. He maintains his Hydra army. He maintains, gets another tank as well. And we can just keep pushing. We can just keep on pushing here towards the planetary. He does pull away. Lurker den behind this. And again, it's been a very intense game here. Very intense. He's holding on. Now, once again to Lurkers, that's going to be a big power spike here for Rogue. At the same time, Ghost Production's already begun though, so Clemmy's ready for the Lurkers. Having a hard time finding damage here with his drops. We'll even lose the medevac. And again, this is the advantage of going for a Hydra heavy composition like this. He has the anti-air. Shuts down another drop. Oh, as Clem gets in. Lurkers are ready. Lurkers have arrived. Clem does get behind the mineral line. Oof. At the same time, pushing right down mid. Takes down the hatchery. Lurkers, they try to come in from behind, but they're going to be thrown away. 2 Lurkers get picked up. 3 Lurkers even. Nice pick up out of Clem. But he doesn't get the expansion. True. Expansion gets up. As Clem is still rallying in. We spoke about it earlier, but this space is so difficult to maintain because that rush distance. Clem is rallying in. I believe there's no... Oh, sorry, there is the Hive range upgrade. Lurkers have range. Lock-ons are broken. And Hydras, they try to take the fight here. He's trying to dive in. Brutal snipes, though. Jeez, as the Ghosts, they shut down the Hydras, the Lurkers as well. Yeah, the Ghosts, they do pop up. GG gets called. Clem here warms. He breaks that position, breaks the Lurker army, and Clem, he will take the series for Team Liquid 7-4. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Congratulations here. Congratulations to Clem, to Team Liquid, as they will claim the series. A very intense back and forth best of 13. It's crazy. That was crazy. But GG, well played with that. Congratulations here to Team Liquid as they will claim the series. Again, almost went all the way, almost went the distance here. Casito, pap, casito. Let's scroll up from the top. Interact, boom. It all began here with Solar versus Mana. Solar, he did take a lead initially for Team Falcons, and then we had Clem bring it back, flexing his Protoss, was able to bring down Bunny. If you recall, that was a very intense game on Ruby Rock, with Clem going 4-gate blink, if I recall correctly, against Bunny and out-aggressing him. Then had Clem and Mana up against Bunny and Rogue. We saw the hyper-aggressive tendencies of Clem and Mana kind of take place there. That was 2-Ranks Reaper and 2-gate opener as well at a Clem and Mana. In the second game is when they went for 3-Ranks Reaper into the 2-base all-in with the proxy rover. That was second and third game thereafter. Eventually, they kind of got figured out. Clem and Mana were relying on the same build too often, and eventually Bunny and Rogue figured that out later on in the series, but early on they were quite successful. Then we had Rogue, he popped off twice actually. Rogue, he was able to take down Cure and take down Mana as well. So Rogue, again, he was carrying quite a lot here for Team Falcons, doing what he could. But then we had Clem once again with the win over Bunny. That was a very close one on Andromeda. That was very close between Clem and Bunny. Intense games, might be intense games. Likewise, we had Cure against Solar. I would say maybe that was like the game of the tournament, sorry, the game of the night. Like Cure versus Solar on 10,000 feet was crazy. We almost completely mined out on 10,000 feet, by the way. Almost completely mined out. Split map scenario. And the thing is about 10,000 feet, it wasn't a passive game. It wasn't passive. It was a lot of, because of the map itself, there was a lot of aggression, a lot of fights, a lot of engagements, just non-stop action, and non-stop just losing bases, losing mineral lines, and they were so fatigued getting into the late game there, getting into a longer game state, and eventually did almost mine out. Eventually Cure, he was able to surpass, able to build up a better army, also had a bit greater economy as well. He still had mining. Solar, he ran out of steam, just ran out of money. Cure was able to take it. Then we had Rogue and Bunny. As we mentioned before, they did kind of figure out Clem and Mana when it came to the 2v2s. And then Cure and Clem did close it out. Again, impressive games overall. GG, well played. Team Liquid, they do win the series. Team Falcons are out of the tournament. And what does this mean? This means that we do have the grand finals ready for us. Not tonight, but at a later date. It is going to be Team Liquid versus Basilisk in those finals. Oh boy. Basilisk, of course, they are the reigning WTL champions with Cyril, Raynor, and Trigger. They are, crowned as the best teams in the world, the best team in the world. We'll see if Team Liquid can bring them down though. See if they can bring them down. Aye. Just catching up. This real late Hydra speed, can only imagine Rogue forgot. I didn't quite notice, but if yeah, it looks like it may have been forgotten. Hydra Infestor sounds good to go versus Clem since doesn't really like tanks. I mean, we did see like he did switch eventually out of tanks into Widow Mines. That's true. Like a heavier tank style is greater against the Hydras, but as we saw, it's important to take note of here, it was a shaky start out of Rogue. We were trying to emphasize that at the time, but Rogue, he was like treading water basically the entire game. Like he was barely keeping his head above water. He never really had momentum himself. He never had the opportunity to threaten the bases of Clem because of the early push and the early successes that Clem had when it came to breaking the Hydra army and breaking the Queens as well. We emphasized that at the time. We called it early. We were like, oh, that's game. When Clem was able to stim on forward, when the Hydras move committed into the army, he lost all the Hydras, he lost all the Queens thereafter, and Rogue didn't die, but it meant that Rogue, he lost his main army, and that means he could never quite keep up and surpass the supply of Clem. And that was just that was the beginning of Rogue just being stuck defending, like stuck perpetually defending, trying to keep up. Did see some moments where Clem did throw away some supply and throw away some drops. We saw that Rogue was able to establish himself because of that, and likewise work towards lurkers, but Clem, he was already taking into ghosts, he already had the snipes ready, and we saw that culminate in that fight at the triangular third. As I mentioned, that triangular third base is very difficult to maintain, specifically in ZVT, and yeah, we saw Rogue struggle and find out the hard way there. But GG, well played. With that, congratulations. Really fun games, really fun series. And with that, we will be concluding this tournament in a couple of days. The grand finals we're going to be covering on Wednesday. So today's Monday. Over on Wednesday is going to be when we're going to be covering those grand finals. So bear that in mind. Lock it into your calendars. Our next cast should be tomorrow morning with the Wardy TV Monday. For those that are curious, Wardy TV Monday should be happening right now, actually. It should be live at the moment. Yes, is currently live, but because of daylight savings, I think it just started, right? Yeah, it started 26 minutes ago. So Wardy TV Monday just started 26 minutes ago. It is almost midnight here in Australia, so because daylight savings hit Europe, it means that it's starting even later than usual. So a Wardy tournament is starting even later, to the point where we can't quite cover it. It's nice to get some sleep. It's nice to get some sleep. It's nice to get some rest here in Australia. So because of that, we won't be covering the Wardy TV Monday live anymore. Instead, we're going to be covering it via replays, just as a heads up. So Jesus, so you can see here we have a very busy schedule. Yeah, this is our schedule for the week. So we just wrapped up with the Monday evening cast. You can see there the Crank Gathers event. We just wrapped up with it Monday evening. You can see here Tuesday morning. That's going to be in around 12 hours. No, 10. In around 10 hours time, we're going to be live with the replays of Wardy TV Monday. So we're going to be live in 10 hours. We have the Sparkling Tune Cup tomorrow evening, Tuesday evening. We moved it over because of SC for All, because of the NA tournament that was happening all weekend. We did move our Open Cup. We have the Big Star Monday, Wednesday morning. You can see there's the second cast of the Crank Gathers Team League tournament. That's going to be Wednesday evening. We have the OSC Rising Star tournament Thursday morning. We have the Pong cast Thursday evening. We have more Wardy TV Monday replays Friday morning as well, because we did miss out. Dang. We did miss out on last week's Wardy TV Monday, so we're catching up with 2 weeks. We're catching up with 2 weeks worth of Wardy TV Monday here on Tuesday and on Friday. We have KSL on Saturday. We have Pegasus Cup replays on Sunday. That's for last week as well. Again, last week we missed out on Pegasus Cup. Last week we missed out on Wardy TV Monday. That's why you can see here we're doubling up on both of those Open Cups to catch up with last week's matches. We have Sea Duckling Open on Saturday as well, and we have Tuna Cup returning on Sunday at a regular slotted time. So I think what's crazy about this week, it's so jam-packed, it's so busy. When it comes to the Open Cups, we're doubling up with everything. We have 2 Wardy TV Mondays, we have 2 Pegasus Cups, and we have 2 Tuna Cups. Let's go. Oh my god. So again, a really busy schedule. Again, we cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there, more StarCraft than Wardy, more StarCraft than Steadfast. All the casting, we have the quantity and we have a little bit of the quality as well. Once again, I do apologize that we weren't able to cast the finals of the SC for All tournament. It was an 11-hour cast and I had to sleep to wake up for this cast. Like I got 6 hours of sleep, or like 5 hours of sleep, then I had to wake up and go right into this cast as well. So I just it was just such a long event. So I do apologize, but I hope you all enjoyed the mainstream, as we did raid the mainstream and then cover the finals, so you can check out the VODs there. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow for Wardy TV Monday, or later on tomorrow evening for the Sparkling Tuna Cup. Otherwise, if you're unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft, socials in the chat, you will get a link to our social media. We do post and we do upload to YouTube on a daily basis, so plenty of content on YouTube. Likewise, you can follow us on all the Twitter, on all the socials, as we do we do post whenever we go live. And we also have a Patreon. If you want to support us, you can support us on Patreon. Our Patreon is designed to fund our tournaments, specifically, as you can see, our branded tournaments, like the Tuna Cup, like the Duckling Open as well, all funded via Patreon, and you can help us grow our tournaments via Patreon as well. You can see that we currently earn 568 USD on Patreon. You can see the current Patreon goal just under the schedule there, bottom right. And the next goal is at 670, so you can help us reach that next goal for Patreon, as all that money goes towards the tournaments. So thank you so much, Pappy. Thank you so much. Oh, more StarCraft. So again, we'll be live tomorrow with some more StarCraft, with Wardy TV Monday and with Tuna Cup. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. We'll give another streamer a raid. Who is live at the moment? Who is live? We can give Wardy a raid. True. There's Wardy. I think Loco's streaming something as well. Let's have a look. Let us have a look. Loco's casting viewer replays. Interesting. I don't really notice many others live at the moment, though. Yeah, we'll give him some love. We'll give him some love. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for the support, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, bye, ciao. See you next time. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.